What's up, brother? What's up?
What's up? What's up? All right.
31 people in waiting room already. I sent you both things.
Yeah.
The last is the one you gotta use. The one says Quantum Leap Challenge. Play some music?
Yeah. What should I play?
Some play what's it called? Some Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny? Really?
Put some EDM Bad Bunny. Put Baila 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 by Ozuna.
Yeah, but is it just like a playlist I can just play?
We're just gonna need one song. That's it. Okay. 45 people. We should drop the link in the chat.
Pero no quiere relación. ¿Dónde va sobresale?
You said what now?
45 people already joined. You should drop the link in the school community one more
I,
time.
I already did like a couple minutes ago.
Perfect.
All right. I think we're good to go, right?
Yep. Let's start.
All
Start
right.
letting people in. I'm gonna start them off with high energy.
Okay, so we'll give it a couple minutes. I'll play some music now.
En sus ojos se ve la ilusión. Pero llamó a su amiga que se olvide que esta es su canción. Y baila, baila, baila. Ponle música pa' que esto no pare. Baila, baila, baila. Tengo que besarte antes que se acabe. Baila, baila, baila. Ponle música pa' que esto no pare. Baila, baila, baila. Tengo que besarte antes que se acabe. Mami, llega el código con el perreo
What's up?
sólido. Esta te la dedico pa' que suelte el estrés. Acércate al perímetro y rompe los termómetros. Si tú abres la vía, te voy a pegar el tren. Me gusta cómo lo hace.
I'm gonna turn the waiting room off so everyone can join. Welcome back, day 3. Day 3, yes sir. On his nose, yes sir. Thank you for joining us on Friday, guys. Friday, financially free Friday. What's up, Lou? In the cosmos somewhere, quantum leaping.
Me gusta como baila porque quiero olvidar. Ponle reggaetón pa' que la vea sudar. Sexy sube su videito.
What's up, everyone? Who's ready for day 3? Put a 3 in the chat. Put a 3 in the chat if you're ready for day 3. Action-packed, value-packed. It's a whole nother notebook. And some sticky notes for the key part. And 3 pens just in case I run out of ink.
Su flow es natural, le gusta inventar. Más conmigo que soy su preferido y ella la mía no la voy a cambiar. Baila, baila, baila.
So I thought for 1 second, look at that screen share. I thought Ozuna was on the call. I was like, oh damn, he wants some sauce.
Baila, baila, baila. Ponle música pa' que esto no pare. Baila, baila, baila. Tengo que besarte antes que
Cuando
se
pusieron su
acabe.
canción, se grabó pa' Insta, bailando y cantando sola en la pista. Y anda sola, suelta y soltera. Taguea a sus amigas pa' romper la carretera. Y está molida y bien despecha. Y dice que hoy se va a
DeAndre, turn the
emborrachar. Y
music
desde
down a
que se
little bit
dejó
so
la
my
tipa no
voice
para
doesn't get
hackear.
cut.
Ya no quiere nada serio, lo que quiere es vacilar.
Day 3, all right, guys. This one's gonna be fun. I said turn it down, Leonard, not turn it up. That's some reggaeton. Even our playlist is high vibration, guys. We'll give it 2 more minutes, then we'll go ahead and get started. There's Mr. Law of Attraction in the building.
Always.
He owns the building. He's just sitting there, waiting, plotting. All right, turn it up, a little chill, a little bit. All right, get everybody. We're about to change the frequency one more time before we get started, so don't worry. I can take a quick minute breather.
These roads of flames are catching a fire. Showed you I loved you, you called me a liar. Oh no, 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 no. Baby, tell me where you gone, gone. I've been feeling for your love so long. We can praise God in the moonlight. Baby, if you with me, better do right. And I've been gone too long, and I'm hoping that you sing my song, my song. I've been on this road for way too long. I've been hoping that we all get along. These roads of flames
Alrighty, music hitting today. All right, day 3. Where's everyone tuning in from? Drop your city or your country.
Give God the thanks and praises. I've been on my own,
Medellin, Spain,
but
Vancouver.
we ain't never left alone, long, long. And if I'm telling you the feeling is wrong, relax a little, friend, this won't take too long. And when you're feeling alone, you can call my phone. Is there a better way to go? Teach them something before they lose the song. Oh, no, no, no. Freedom is the road. Oh, no,
North Carolina,
no, coming
San
in
Francisco.
from the coast. Tell them not to sell it, it's worth more than gold. And
Ohio.
guiltiness will catch them in the end. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Alrighty. Day 3, we're in the building. Netherlands, Toronto, Ohio, India. Got some of your fellow countrymen in Medellin. DeAndre, you got some of your homies from back home.
Back home, I'm not even Colombian, but I love Colombia.
Exactly. I was just going off what you said yesterday.
Yeah.
Alrighty, who's ready for day 3? Who's ready? Who's ready? Okay. I was gonna make y'all do push-ups, but we're gonna wait till halfway through. I'm gonna get y'all jumping. Push-ups or backflips? Pick your poison. Okay. Day 3. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. All right, who did your homework? Drop a 1 in the chat if you did your homework. Drop a 1 in the chat if you did your homework. And if you did day 1 and 2, drop a 2 in the chat if you did both. If you did both homeworks, drop a 2 in the chat. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All righty. Mr. Law of Attraction, day 3. Are you ready?
Let's go. Let's go.
Today you're wearing white, I'm wearing black. All right, cool. A little yin yang. Okay, perfect.
Let's do it.
2. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, let's go over the itinerary for day 3. Mr. Law of Attraction, what you got for us today?
Yeah, we already did announcements.
Announcements is pretty much the same thing. Do your homework. Okay. Do your homework from day 1 and 2. Everything is up in school. Everything is up in the recap and resources section, the classroom. You had the winner's image worksheet. You had the 7-figure money mindset. Do the what to change worksheet. Did you do that one as well? Okay. There's a bunch of and then the 5 daily points. So if everyone completed that.
Who did their meditations this morning? Who did their meditations? Saul, you did your visualizations, understand the subconscious mind. Amazing. So I'm kind of curious, who's here for the first time? Who's watching us for the first time? Maybe you got invited, you're coming in day 3 of the challenge right now. Who's drop an
8.
Drop an 8 in the chat. Let's do that. If you're new, just to see, kind of get a feel for who's here. Okay.
Welcome, day 3.
Okay, so it looks like everybody's kind of familiar. Let's go ahead and let's get started. So today we are talking about the devil's language. Well, actually, let's talk about today's lesson, which is assuming your level 100 character. Yesterday we talked about character upgrades, which we understood the subconscious mind. Now today we're going to tap a little bit into the law of assumption and what we call the devil's language and the terror barrier. Okay. Then you're going to hear from Anish. Anish, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. What's
Awesome.
up?
Yeah, and then we'll hear from Anish
Good.
a little bit later. Anish is a client of ours that came on about 2 months ago, and he'll tell his story a little bit. And he took his business highest income month was $8,000, and using the law of attraction, what he learned in less than 2 weeks took his business to $27,000 per week. So we're gonna hear what he did specifically, his story, what he actually did. There's some cool things that he was doing with some meditations, so you can hear from another person's perspective on how he scaled his company to that level a little bit later. And then for some of you guys who are interested in like talking to us, having custom plans, getting discovery calls, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. But before that, it's all about value right now. So let's get into it. The devil's language. The devil has you wake up. Who's familiar with Napoleon Hill? Who's ever heard of the book Outwitting the Devil? Outwitting the Devil. That's a wild book. If you stumbled across Think and Go Rich, you probably stumbled across the book Outwitting the Devil, and that's a wild book, especially if you listen to the audio tape when they have that's the devil's voice, right? And one of the best things about that book is you've really come to realize that the devil is not some red-headed pitchfork person in hell. He lives here on earth, right? Well, remember, he was sent here by God to the physical world, and he rules this world. If not, just go to Hollywood and you see that very quickly, right? Because the God rules the heavens while the devil rules the physical world. This is his world, right? And so with that being said, what he rules is an untrained mind, an untrained attention, and most importantly, your physical world. He's the one that will lower your frequency when you're trying to pull yourself out of poverty, and he'll say, "No, you're not. You're broke. Look at your bank account." He'll have your creditors calling you. He'll have your family talking shit about you at Christmas. He'll do everything in his power to lower your frequency, especially when you've been on track for so long. And so today you're going to learn some awareness practices that I have used over the last several years, how I was sleeping in my car multiple times, not multiple times. There's one period of my time in my life. First, I slept in my car in Miami for 5 months, and I got through it. And then in California, when I went to the Bob Proctor event, I slept in my car, and then I was sleeping on a couch, right? So how was it I was able to pull myself out of those situations, and in less than a couple weeks from those dates, I was earning six-figure months. There were certain things I was doing, certain rejections of the outside world, certain detachments, and so you'll learn that. So without enough hype, let's get into it. If you guys are tapping in, some of you are new. What I'm taking you guys through is my program called the Quantum Leap, which is my interpretation of how I've been able to scale. It's about 60% of what I've learned from Bob Proctor, clearly because I studied with him, a little bit of what I learned with Dr. Joe Dispenza, a little bit of just gathering my own thing. At this point, it becomes my own thing, right? When you start gathering your own, it's Socrates, Plato's, Bob Proctor, right? Bob Proctor studied this man right here, Napoleon Hill, every single day for 60 years. So then it became Bob Proctor's thing. So I'm 28 years old, so we'll be here. By the time I'm Bob Proctor's age, it's all the same thing, right? So let's go ahead, and we're still in the thought section. That's what we've been covering most of this time. Remember, we live on three simultaneous planes of existence: spiritual, intellectual, and physical. We learned yesterday that the law of attraction is a reaction to your frequency. And your frequency is emitted on three levels: your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. You have to ask yourself the question, in order to hit your highest income month on that C-type goal, let me see those goal cards. Let me see those goal cards. Vibe check. Let me see those goal cards. Y'all should have them on you at all times. By the way, you'll always catch me with the goal card. It's funny. Yeah, I have one behind my phone, and then I always have one in my pocket. I had this funny thing where if anybody found me without a gold card, I would give them $1,000. Guess what? I've had that up for 5 years. I've never given anybody $1,000. I always have my gold card on me. Okay. But anyways, in order to get this, some of you are scrambling, have left the screen. You're out looking for your gold cards. Come on, you got to keep that on you. That's your focus right there, right? But anyways, so in order to hit this gold card, you have to be aligned on three levels: your thoughts, which is what we've been covering most of this masterclass; your feeling states, which is what we're going to learn tomorrow. By the way, who's going to be here tomorrow for tomorrow's meditation? Right? Tomorrow I'm going to teach you how to take all this stuff we've learned over the last couple of days and plant into the subconscious mind with a guided quantum jump meditation. So who's going to be here for tomorrow's call? And that's going to be the final one where we plant everything, that C-type goal, into the subconscious mind, right? So that's what we're going to finish up with tomorrow. And then now our second half is going to be the terror barrier, which is getting it into the action states, right? The law of assumption, assuming you're that person and acting like that person. As soon as you do that, everything will start to wake up for you. So the devil's language, and you guys have heard me say this before. The average person thinks anywhere from 60 to 70,000 thoughts every single day, and 90% of those thoughts are the same as yesterday. So if you believe that your thoughts create your reality, then this means that 90% of your thoughts are the same as yesterday. And then your life will say the same as today. And it'll just keep repeating over and over and over. I need you guys to articulate what I just said right there. Most of you guys have been living the same day every single day in the same similar bank account, give or take 10%. Every day, it's the same situation, going to the same house, to the same job, to the same car, to the same life. Everything's the same. Have the same body. Everything's been the same. In order to change, you must be greater than your environment. You must be greater than time. You must be greater than the physical material world. It's the only way. Change is not manifest in the physical world. That's only the byproduct of the eyes. Change is first preceded in the quantum space, in the spiritual realm. You guys remember when we did that exercise when we closed our eyes and we were changing the color of the car? That is where the change is. Once you change there, which is a concept of self, a change of consciousness, that will then transmute or change form to a physical change in the bank account. Thought always precedes action, which precedes results in your bank account. The moment you realize that, I don't care what business you're in. Some of you run agencies, some of you do TikTok, e-com, coaching, consulting, YouTube, content creator, brick and mortar businesses, or some of you are in sales or still working at a job. I do not care what you do because we all have the same mind, only different expressions of that same mind. The moment you take control of it and first understand where your problem is, then fix it, you will become a 6 or 7 figure earner in whatever that you touch. Obviously, no income claims guaranteed here, but if you work with the laws, miracles will go across you. It's just been proven. Things will start to happen. So if you have to start, you have to start thinking about what you're thinking about. You have to be conscious of your unconscious habits and behavior, then begin to change them. There's levels of consciousness. So for example, one level of consciousness is saying, I am alive, right? I am a person. My name is Gerson. My name is Leonard. My name is Arthur, right? That's one level of consciousness. Then there's another level of consciousness that says, hey, my name is DeAndre, and I see that Leonard is also a person. Therefore, he must be similar to me and think like me. He is a human. He probably has feelings similar to me. I should probably not try to hurt his feelings, right? That's a different level of consciousness. Now, it's not just on self. It's of self and awareness of others' consciousness. Then we can go even deeper that says, hey, I can think thoughts that may not be mine. I'm thinking thoughts. That's very interesting. Maybe I don't feel sad. Maybe I don't feel angry. Why do I feel angry? Why do I feel sad in this moment, right? You're thinking thoughts of thinking thoughts. And then you can go even deeper and it just goes levels and levels and levels. That's just levels of awareness. I'm going to keep it very simple for you guys, but you understand what I'm saying. Consciousness at a deep level of change is just thinking about what you're thinking about. Most thoughts, remember, 90% of them are on autopilot. Most thoughts are on autopilot. And if you're going to want to have to change, you're going to have to reduce that 90% to a much more manageable number. I don't have a scientific number what that is, but what would your life look like if you took that from 90% of the same thoughts to 70%, to 50%, to 30%? What would your life look like if 70% of your daily life was new thoughts, new habits, new ideas coming into your life? Obviously, being on a call like this, congratulations, is helping you do that. I'm putting new thoughts and new frequencies into your life so you can think from these new ideals and go from there. You should not be on this call taking notes like you went to school. Like, please, that's not how you do this information. If you have a notebook, you're not writing notes like 60, 70,000 thoughts. That's not how this works. You're writing down ideas that you get. Oh, he said that. I need to change this aspect of my business. I need to rewrite this copy. I need to rewrite this content. Like, that's what you write on your notes. You don't write like you're going to school. You write ideas that you've interpreted through it, right? Implementation. That's how you take on this information. Very clear. So you have to become aware of what you're thinking about. That means you have to be conscious of self, conscious of your habits. You have to start to wake up. You have to become aware of how you've been feeling emotionally and reacting to the outside world and shifting your emotional state. Most of us, the hardest thing a person can do is think. The hardest thing that a human being can do is think. Because most people, 96% of people do not think. They only react. They look at what's going on outside of them, and based on how much cash, revenue, business, capital, followers, whatever, their boss, their girlfriend, the house they live in, what country they're in, based on whatever's going on outside of them, that dictates what they're going to do, what decisions they will make, what goal they will go after. Is that thinking? Drop in the chat. Is that thinking or is that reacting when you act, when you move like that? When you look at what's going on around you, let me repeat the question, and I want to see you guys in the chat if you guys are with me and thinking right now. I'm teaching you how to think. If you use your eyes and you look around you, and based on how many contacts, followers, what country you're in, whether you have an internet or a laptop, or you have the followers or the contacts or the money, are you thinking or are you reacting? Drop in the chat right now. Are you thinking or are you reacting? And you guys are correct. You are reacting. That's why we say the hardest thing a person can do is think, because most people are reacting to the matrix. Who believes that they are creators in their own matrix, that they can bend the matrix to their reality? Drop a 1 in the chat if you believe that you can eventually, if not now, bend the matrix to your reality. So if you guys believe this, then why is that the matrix controls your feeling? And I'm not talking about the matrix like Andrew Tate, like some outside, elites trying to control you. I'm talking about like the general like material world when I say matrix. Okay? Like he coined that, so every time we say matrix, we're thinking like the elites and shit. Like Iman Gadzhi, like these elites outside of us. No, we're talking about like the material world, all right? If you let the matrix control your internal state, you are only reacting, and that's a lower level of consciousness. That's why we say the hardest thing a human can do is to think, because to think is to see truth in the conscious mind. What is truth? Truth is the imagination. Let's write this down right here. I'm going to go on a little tangent. Nobody write on my whiteboard or we're going to release you from the call. Okay. We're on a whiteboard right now, so accept to come watch the whiteboard, guys. I'll just be here for a few minutes. Please do not write on my whiteboard or you'll be removed from the call. Okay. I'm only going to be here for about a minute or so, so if you're driving, don't worry, you can watch the recording. So check this out. So we have the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, the body, right? So what most people do is they're going to look at their outside environment. Please do not write on my whiteboard once again, or you'll be removed from the call. Ali, next person that writes on the board, please remove them from the call. Okay?
Easy.
So please, okay, so check this out, guys. What's happening now, if you're driving or operating a vehicle, just listen in, okay? So we're only here for a minute or so. Okay, so we have conscious mind, subconscious mind, body. So here's what most people do. They look at their outside matrix, right? So let M represent matrix. Based on what they see, it registers in, right? So we have an antenna. Remember we talked about it yesterday? In the conscious mind, we can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. We have two types of faculties. Who remembers that? Drop in the chat. There's two faculties that we have. Two types of faculties. Where's the chat at? Oh, here it is. Who remembers? Two types of faculties that we have connected to our conscious mind. Physical and spiritual. Great job. Physical and spiritual. Physical being see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Spiritual being intuition, will, perception, reason, memory, and intuition. Right? So here's what most people are doing when they're reacting. React. Is they look at the outside matrix, and matrix can be whatever situation. Remember the guy from yesterday, the guy from Serbia. I don't remember your name. Shout out to you, man. I don't remember. But he was like, hey, bro, I don't have, what does he say? I don't have the money for a music video. I don't have the cameras. I don't have this. I don't have that. And he was saying all this shit. He was basically looking, so let this represents what he sees. Based on what he sees in the outside matrix, which is whatever's going on, that's just circumstance. Based on what he sees, he forms an image in his imagination of what? And we'll let this M represent the same here, right? He to the degree, he looks at his imagination, but based on the M matrix outside of him, which then plants it, and then plants into the subconscious mind. If you do not see the whiteboard, you have to accept to come to the whiteboard, okay? Like everybody else. So everybody can see the whiteboard, yes? Drop a 1 in the chat if you guys can see. If you can't see the whiteboard, you have to accept it, okay? Look at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so there's the guy from yesterday, right? Based on the outside matrix, he sees, right, with his antennae, see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. He sees in his imagination the same degree of this M. All right, so imagination to the power of the matrix outside of him. Then he plants into the subconscious mind because of ignorance. Ignorance is not a bad word. It just means you don't know. But now through study, you will start to understand. And he's going to plant into the subconscious mind with emotion. Because it's so much easier to get emotional with something that's outside of you. Because it's in your hand. But that's ignorance. So now he's going to have emotions to the degree of what? The same matrix outside of him. Which means that his body is going to be in the same what? Vibration to the degree of the matrix, right? Vibration. Which means what? He's going to take what type of actions? He's going to take what type of actions? Actions to the degree of the same matrix. You guys follow me here? Drop a 3 in the chat if you guys are following me. Okay? So now you see how this guy can still be doing the same sales calls, the same meetings, making the same content, doing the same thing as everybody else in his company, as everybody else in his industry, but yet still fail and be broke. Because his actions are to the degree or to the frequency of the outside world, this outside matrix. This is called the devil's language. You are losing every single time you do this. And we'll explain this into a degree in a second on how to overcome that. Actually, no, let's do it now. Because that was a little bit of yesterday. So this is how yesterday kind of recaps. We're kind of recapping of what we did yesterday. So now, what we have to do is we have the let me make the sticker here. Okay. Conscious mind, subconscious mind, body. So what did I say? The hardest thing a person can do is what? Type in the chat. The hardest thing that a person can do is what? We're on the whiteboard, right, by the way. Correct. The hardest thing a person can do is think. So what is to think? To think is to think truth. What is truth? Truth is whatever you form in your imagination, which is Christ's consciousness. Christ lives to and through us through the redemptive power of the imagination. It's the faculty that separates us from all living creatures. A bird can only be a bird. A monkey can only be a monkey. A dog can only be a dog, but you can be whatever you want because you've been gifted the faculty of the imagination. That's why I love living in Dubai. Every time I look around, I said, holy shit, this was literally creating the imagination of another person. 30 years ago, this is just complete desert. And somebody built this amazing city from an imagination. I love living here. It inspires me every single day. That's the truth. The truth is to formulate an image in your mind using your imagination. So that's a faculty here. Using your imagination, and that becomes the truth. To the exclusion of what's going on in the matrix. So now we are no longer reacting because we're going to reject the outside world. And by the way, this is a lot easier in theory than in action. But doing certain practices such as detachment, meditation, different practices that I teach you guys here and on my channel and to my clients more in depth, step by step, I teach you guys how to do that. That was the only way I was able to pull myself out of poverty multiple different times. And it's the only way to pull yourself out of poverty is to reject the outside matrix, meaning the outside physical world. Doesn't matter where you're at. If you're on this call right now, you can become a millionaire. I don't care what country you're in. You can be in Africa. You can be in South America. The fact that you have a phone, access to information, Wi-Fi, YouTube, you can be a millionaire with the device if you're on this call right now. Absolutely no excuse. I don't want to hear it. You reject the outside world and you formulate the truth. Now you plant this here into the subconscious mind. And now think about this. Let truth represent blue. Okay? So truth. Now we're going to plant truth into the subconscious mind. So now instead of to the degree, the emotional state here to the degree of the M matrix, we're going to then vibrate at what? To the degree of truth in our body, which means that we're going to take actions to the degree of what? To the matrix or to the degree of truth. You see, we can be doing the same exact action, doing the same exact piece of content, the same exact sales call, the same exact thing, but yet the frequency from which our foundation is built is different. It is built not from the M state frequency, it is built from the truth state frequency, which is why you can start doing certain things, and those certain things then quantum leap you to new heights in your income. And this is how I scale companies to 100 grand a month in less than 45 days consistently. Does this make sense? This is kind of what we're covering today. Drop a 3 in the chat if this is making sense for you. Obviously, clearly, this makes more sense in theory. You need to learn how to apply this. Application of what I just taught you for that like 10-minute spiel is like the truth right there. Like that's how you actually win. That's the hard part. Giving you this information, that's easy. Okay, let's continue. So how to change your reality. The reason your life will stay the same the reason your life will stay the same is the same thoughts produce the same choices, which produce the same actions, which produces the same experiences, and the same experiences creates the same emotion. Y'all following me here?
Screenshot that. Take a pic.
Okay. So let's check this out. How to change your reality. So here's our old state of being. This is also known as our old paradigm. So remember, 60 to 70,000 thoughts, and what percentage are the same as yesterday? 60 to 70,000 thoughts, and what percentage are the same as the day before? Let's look at the chat. Let me see if you guys are paying attention, if you're active here. You're like, why is he always asking me a question every 5 minutes? I want to see if you're here. I want to see if you're paying attention. So you have the same thoughts, remember that 90%, which produces the same choices, which produces the same actions and behaviors, which produces the same experiences, the same feelings, and that produces the same life over and over and over again. Here's what we have to do through a change of consciousness. Well, first of all, how do you gain, we'll talk about it here in a second when we get to terror barrier. How do you actually gain new consciousness? It's a renewing of your mind. It's through study. It's the only way. Through experience or through study. Studying is studying the minds of others. Experiences is going through some shit, and you learn from it if you continue to level up. So through a change of consciousness, a renewing of your mind, a changed concept of self, you will formulate new thoughts. Remember, the new thoughts will come from different frequencies. Remember yesterday we talked about a power flowing into your consciousness, and through that power, you'll flow into a positive state or negative state. Remember the perspective? We talked about this book. We were both right, changing your perspective. So this power flows into your consciousness, and now because you have a new frequency of thought, a new changed concept of self, like the moment I convinced Leonard that he's a 100K per month earner with the same business he has now, he'll hit 100K per month in 90 days. Literally, same exact business, working probably less than he is now. The only problem right now is he doesn't have this new concept of self. The moment he flips the switch and does that, he'll be like, holy shit, it was truth. It was right. It was like, how do you know? And when you hear from Anish here in a little bit, same exact thing happened to him. Because now the thoughts that hit your mind are of a different frequency, a new thought, which then produces new choices, new actions and behaviors, new experience, new feeling states, and then that produces new results in your life. You don't have to worry about all this extra stuff. All you have to do is worry about the new thoughts, the new feeling states, new actions, and everything else will take care of itself. Let's continue. So to change, this is really important. To change is to be greater than your environment. To change your life, you have to be greater than your environment. You have to be greater than your outside world. Are you a slave to the matrix, or are you going to enslave it? I bend the matrix to my reality every single day. That's just my belief. If you guys don't believe me, all 120 of you are on this call, part of my matrix right now. I have summoned you guys to this call through influence or one way or another. Obviously, I'm adding value to you guys. You can do the same for your business. The same thing for what you want. I bend the matrix to my reality because I'm greater than my outside environment. This is a belief you have to instill. You have to be greater than where you're at right now. You have to be greater than the apartment that you're in, the car that you're driving. You have to be greater than your environment. You have to be greater than your current results. If not, you're a slave to the matrix. is the only way to pull yourself out of poverty, is the only way to pull yourself out of whatever situation you're in right now. Some of you are stuck at the 10K, 20K, 30K month level. To pull yourself to the 100K or more level, you have to be greater than your current results. It's the only way I can pull myself to $1 million per month is to be greater than my current results and not live the same life over and over again. You have to be greater than your body. You have to be greater than time. I'm actually kind of curious if you know this. Where's the only place where you can be greater than time and greater than physical material? Who knows? Where's the only place where you can be greater than time and greater than the material world? Exactly. The quantum space, the spiritual realm, the quantum field. Exactly. So now you know why I call this the quantum jump, the quantum leap. You quantum leap first in the spiritual realm before you ever quantum leap in the physical realm.
Yeah. Yes, that's great.
Does that
Thank
make
you.
sense? Is that making sense? That is what we need to do. So let's go ahead and let's break down the devil's language. So here's the starting point for most people. At all periods of the time, everybody falls for this. It's just to the degree to how conscious aware you are of changing it and getting back on track. Here's what most people do. Their first thinking process is not imagination in the C-type goal. It's the outside results. They look at their outside results, and based on what they see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, it results that it causes feelings and, most important, thoughts that are of the same frequency, which is poverty, stuck, not enough contacts, not enough money. Oh, I'm in this country. I don't have the money. I don't have the resources, whatever. All of you have some type of limiting belief, and I can just talk to you for 5 minutes and figure that out. Like you guys, like the guy from Serbia who was brave enough to get on the call. All of us in 5 minutes figured out what his limiting belief was. Guess what? You're the same way. Guarantee it. It's some limiting thought. As soon as you uncapsulate that, you will literally quantum leap to the next level. But what that is, that's what we have to figure out. That's what my program's about. That's why I work with clients for 3 months, and we quantum leap them. So we take that imagination, and it stirs up the same emotions that are on the same frequency as the result. Remember that? To the degree, emotions to the degree of the matrix, which then causes vibrations that are to the degree, your actions rather, to the degree of the same results. Over and over, and they're just in this hamster wheel of being stuck. And this is why, no matter how many YouTube videos you watch, you are stuck. This is why, no matter how many books you read, you are stuck. This is why, no matter how many seminars you go to, you are stuck. This is why, no matter how many coaches you hire, you are stuck. This is why, no matter how many businesses you start, you are stuck. This is why, no matter how many ads, funnels, businesses, TikTok, accounts, I don't care what it is, whatever thing that you have going on, whatever product you're testing, whatever client you're talking to, whatever offer you're running, whatever thing you think it is, it's not true. You keep living the same lie because you keep getting emotionally involved with the matrix outside of you. And no matter what you touch, you are at a frequency of lack and limitation based on outside results that are matching your frequency. You keep living the same life over and over again. It does not matter what business, what country, you all have the same mind. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they all have the same mind as us. They're just more efficient at using it. Our goal is to become as conscious as possible to be the best at that. To be consciously aware of becoming a better version. I have to become consciously aware of how to grow 1 million YouTube subscribers and earn $1 million per month. And how we can do that in the next 9 months. I have to be consciously aware. The vibration is already there. I just have to match the frequency. Let's talk about the quantum model of creating a new reality. We have the familiar past. We have to begin to unlearn. We have to unlearn the BS because most of you are thinking the problem is something that really it's not. And to get into a new future, you have to relearn. This is what you're doing right now. You notice how I don't know what most of your businesses are? I'm actually kind of curious. Drop in the chat and Ollie will kind of take notes. I'm kind of curious, what kind of businesses you guys do? I assume you are in a business because that's where you're going to get the most leverage from this material. It's like you doing stuff, sales or running a business. Nice. Okay, we have a whole different bunch of industries here.
Nice.
So you're going to begin to relearn, breaking the habit of being yourself, breaking the habit of those 60 to 70,000 thoughts repeating every day, and begin to reinvent yourself. Who did the worksheets from yesterday? Who began to rewrite their new self-image? Some people will never touch that worksheet. Some people wrote it and will never look at it again and go try some other strategy or watch some other YouTube video or jump on some other webinar. I guarantee it. They just love to just gather information and be stuck. They adore it. They absolutely adore hopping on seminars and doing nothing. It's like a strategy for them. That's some people. And some people will take that same thing and go make $20,000 this week with that same exact worksheet. Same exact worksheet. That's what we're doing here. We have to go out there and begin to create a new mind, a new version of yourself, deprogramming yourself and reprogramming a new one. That is done through the meditations, which we're going to talk about in depth more tomorrow. Meditation is a vehicle to get from point A to point B. Let me break this massive misconception. This is how I know people are lost, especially when they ask me this question. They're like, DeAndre, what meditation should I do that's going to quantum leap me? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. You can stare at a wall and quantum leap. Like, it's not the music. Like, obviously, hemisync, that stuff kind of helps. But it's like, I was doing that without hemisync. You have point A. Point A is your current situation, also known as your current material world. And then point B is your desired current state, your desired frequency, your desired material world. But what we're talking about here is frequencies. We're talking about frequencies here. We have to get from point A to point B as quickly as possible. The way we do this is through a vehicle. This is my car. Do not laugh. This is me drawing a car. I'm not an artist. I am a coach. This is a little car. Zoom. Okay. Should I put a headlight here? You guys like my little Tesla? More like a Jetson car, right? This is my little car. So the meditation is the vehicle to take you from point A to point B. It's the vehicle. People think that they're going to sit on a couch and meditate, and that meditation is going to get them to point A or point B. This is the answer. So they asked me, DeAndre, what meditation should I do? Like, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is getting to the quantum space and then coming back here. This is just a vehicle to get you. You don't want the meditation. By the way, none of you want to be on this call right now. What you want is the results of being on this call. You guys clear with me? Like, do you understand what I just said? By the way, if you're in sales, that's like a bar right there. People don't want the program, the product. They want the result of what it will do for them. In other words, you don't want to be on this challenge. You want what the challenge will do for you. It's in the same sense. You don't want a meditation. Don't seek the meditation. That's just the vehicle to get you to the desired situation. Now, is there more comfortable cars than others? Yes. I don't like the Teslas. For some reason in Dubai, when you take an Uber, they think a Tesla Model 3 is a premium car. That is the most uncomfortable car I've ever been in my life. Like, that is a demotion. I don't understand premium. But that's besides the point. There's certain cars that are more comfortable to take. You can take an SUV, a 4x4, whatever, or a sports car. That's irrelevant. But there's different vehicles. Those are the different styles of meditations that you can take. Don't get too caught up in like what meditation. Please, when people ask me that question every day, I know they're lost. They don't even know where their problem is or what the purpose of a meditation is. They've been watching too much stuff. Okay, let's summarize the devil's language. By the way, if your eyes were opened up right now about the Matrix and the devil's language, drop a 3 in the chat. If your eyes were just opened up, who's been thinking like that? Who's been letting the Matrix control them? Be honest. Raise your hand. Who's been letting the Matrix control them? So let's go ahead and let's summarize. In order for true change to happen, you must become familiar with your old programmed self and become so conscious of who you've been that you never go unconscious again. Take some time to deconstruct yourself in your present programming and then begin to connect with your new results. Deconstruct your old programming that's connected to your current results. And you guys know I have a worksheet for you for this. To truly change, you must be consciously aware of your current identity, your current state. Becoming aware of your unconscious thoughts, behaviors, and actions. Like when you go to the mall. Like who wants to come to Dubai, by the way? Like how many of you want to come visit Dubai? Kind of curious. Yeah, we out here. We living in Dubai. So I love Dubai. If you go to Dubai Mall, that is the craziest mall I've ever been to in my life. I thought Medellin, Colombia had some crazy ass malls. By the way, there's like a mall every 5 minutes in Colombia. It's a weird thing. But here in Dubai, like they have the craziest malls.
Biggest mall in the world too.
Yeah. So they have these malls, and as soon as you get in there, you will get lost, bro. I swear, I've been there at least 100 times. I discover new floors, new stores, new levels. Like I didn't even know there's a Chinatown in there, bro. Did you know that, Ali? There's like a Chinatown section. Like what the hell? I walked in one day. I'm like, where the hell am I? Like it's massive. Guess what? So as soon as you walk in the mall, you have to go to the little kiosk, and what's the first thing you look at when you look at the map? You are here. So many of you are trying to get to some random destination and you have no idea where you're at. How can you get to a point B if you don't even know where you're at in point A? That is what this lesson is all about. So here's your action plan. Here's going to be your homework for this section of today's training. Do lose your mind worksheet. Yes, I named it that. Lose your mind. Not literally. Please, some of you don't lose your mind. So here's going to be your homework. You're gonna identify your past version of yourself and your present version of your past version of yourself, your present version of yourself, and your future version of yourself. This is so important. If there's one thing that I'm really good at doing, here's all my clients pay me lots of money for. They pay me $8,000, $10,000, $30,000, a lot of money. In short, here's what I help them do: help them clearly articulate their current situation, their current identity. I help them then clearly identify their current states. And so when the power of thoughts flow into their consciousness, they're able to articulate which frequency or which self to go into direction. So this thought flows into your mind, Lou, and you will decide, do I think like old version of Lou or new version of Lou? And that right there is enough for you to go build a 7-figure business. Because most people do not know how to think. It's that simple. That's my business right there. That's how I make 7 figures a year, doing exactly that. Just teaching people how to think. When the power flows into your consciousness, do you think old version or you think new version? Most people don't think at all. It just boom, outside world reaction. Outside world reaction. That's all people live. Most of you are living like that. If you're not doing at least 7 figures a year, that's exactly how you're living. You're probably thinking, oh, he's talking about some outside person. If you're not making at least $1 million per year, you're not doing what I just said right now. You are most likely reacting to the outside world. Because as soon, like think about this. How many billions upon billions of synapses and brain connections and neurons are in the brain? So you're telling me this powerful thing is only made for you to go to the bathroom, eat, pump your blood? Like that's it? When there's people out here building mega mansions, mega cities, and just changing the world, that's all your brain is so much more. If you're not making at least $1 million a year minimum, you're not using your brain correctly. First of all, it's becoming aware that you even have thoughts. Then that's the first level. That's what I talked about, consciousness. Now the power comes in, and now this is when you hit awareness, and now you have a choice: new version, old version. Once you start making enough choices in the new version, your life will start to change, and you'll very easily see how you make more than $1 million a year very, very quickly. Your first million might be a little bit hard, but after that, you just start making millions upon millions of dollars after that. And if you're not making the millions, it's because you're not doing what I'm explaining right there. If that made sense on the devil's language, drop a 7 in the chat. Yes. All right, so let's go ahead and let's move on to the next section. So this will be the homework that'll be posted. By the way, everybody's always asking me, guys, just pay attention. We told you so many times where the homework is, where the recordings are. You're going to come here. After the call, typically within 15 minutes, you come to the classroom section. All the recordings are right here. Look, we have day 1. You have the homework, all the resources and the recordings. Day 2 is already up. You have the homework, the 5-point daily plan, the recording. All of that's already laid out for you. Day 3, day 4, all of it will be laid out here in the classroom section under recordings, okay? All right, so let's move on to the next section here. Terror barrier. All right. So you have set your C-type goal. Now, what do we do? I was actually at lunch today with a friend, and I said, you know what? I was like saying, what's the, how would I summarize my work in 15 seconds, 10 seconds? You set a big enough goal that it scares the shit out of you. You see that goal repetitiously with your mind, heart, and soul, thoughts, feelings, and actions long enough for it to manifest because you start to take inspired action. Number 3, act as if you're that person. That's all you have to do. If you do that consistently, you'll have a new life. It's that simple. It's simple, but not easy. How to implement that specifically for Arthur, for Gerson, for Leonard, for Francisco, for Nikki, for Rocco, to do that specifically is a whole other thing. That is the difference maker. So one thing that you're going to hit along the way, and how you know if you're doing this correctly, is if you're hitting terror barriers. This is how you know you're on track. I had this client message me one time on Instagram, and he's like, DeAndre, I've been doing the work, I've been doing the meditations, and I've been doing all these things. And he clearly wasn't a client because I could just see what his problem was. He was like, DeAndre, I'm doing the work, I'm doing the meditations. How do I know if I'm quantum leaping? And I said, check your bank account. Like, check your bank account. Has it grown? He said, no, then it's not working. Like, you know, because your bank account is growing, your clients are growing. It's very simple, guys. Like, there's no like random shit here. I'm not teaching crystals and like random numerology. No offense to the numerology and the astrology. Like, I'm sure there's some. I teach you how to like grow your bank account, grow your business. That's what I teach you how to do. How do you know this is working? Check your stats. Check your back office. That's how you know that this is working. We're not here to just meditate and woo-saw. We are here to grow the business, all right, ladies and gentlemen? Who's with me? Drop a 4 in the chat if you're ready to grow to the next level in your business. No, less woo-saw, more bank account growing. That's what we're here for, all right? That's why.
He says no offense to the numerology people, but every 5 seconds we're dropping numbers.
Yeah, like I just dropping numbers, get them intense, get them locked in. So let's check it. All right, so I've just come across this realization probably about a week or 2 ago after talking with some clients. I was talking to clients at the high level. So I have clients that are paying me $40,000 for 1 or 2 months. And I have clients paying me $300 a month all the way to people on my YouTube channel who don't have any money to pay me. And I noticed this consistent pattern. Your quantum leap in life will be in direct proportion to the degree of the amount of terror barriers you are running through. It's not how many meditations you do. It's not how many businesses you start or how many YouTube videos or how many courses you take or how many hours you're going to be on this masterclass challenge with me. That's completely irrelevant. All I'm teaching you how to do is gain enough awareness to go smash through action type terror barriers in your life, and that will be the direct reflection of the degree of the cash you will have coming into your business in the next 90 days. Are we clear on this? So now you guys will start to associate terror barriers in action with results, not sitting on a meditation and watching a YouTube video for information. If I can get you to switch that, now you will be able to grade yourself over the next 90 days of how well you've been doing. So some of you will sit here, like for example, I'm gonna call some of you out. I think it was yesterday we got on the call and somebody said they watched the recording 3 times, like the 3-hour training 3 times, and I said, "How much action have you taken?" That's what I'm thinking. Like, what? I'm sure you probably got 6 or 7 massive ideas to go take. What business have you started in that same time frame? Did you start a YouTube channel? Did you post a YouTube video? Did you launch an ad? Did you go call 100 contacts? Did you go knock on more doors? What did you do? What action did you take? But for some people, they get off. They love basking in just more information. No, that is a lost soul. No offense to you. Now, I'm just going to bring you back in. It's not information. It's this. I want you to associate that it's to the degree of your terror barrier. But that's enough hype. Let's get into it. For a person to change the results, they must change their paradigm, and this requires a strong conscious control over their thinking. So let's talk about trampling through your terror barrier. Let go of the past. Do not permit old conditioning to prevent you from performing new acts in an efficient and effective manner or from enjoying that which is your birthright. Life begins where fear ends. So let's talk about some key points here. Anytime you are setting a new goal, that results in you skipping a couple of rungs on the ladder of success, you will run up against the terror barrier. Okay, what does this mean? The moment you try to 10x, 100x your goal, your income, your business, your stature in life, you will run up against massive fear. It is when you feel this fear that you know you are in the right direction. If you look at your goal and you do not fear fear, you are writing the wrong goal. Remember, what is a goal? A goal is not to get. A goal is to grow. It's for growth. You get up and you're excited about your life, and that excitement is a little bit of fear. You're like, holy shit, how am I going to accomplish this? This is absolutely insane. How can we go get 1 million views on our next video when our highest video is 150,000? How can we do this? That's the fun part, is finding out how you're going to do it. So anytime you're going to go quantum leap in the material world, there's some massive goal, you will hit this wall of fear. Whenever you're going to go make serious changes in your life and moving out of your comfort zone, you will run up against the terror barrier. I ran up against the terror barrier when I had to pay Bob Proctor for his consultant program $30,000 that I did not have. I said, what's the minimum I can put down? He said, the sales guy said 10,000. I said, I don't have 10,000. And then I was like, I got $5,000 on my grandpa's credit card. He said, well, take it. You know, guys, salespeople. He's like, well, take it. I said, oh, shit, here we go again. So I put $5,000 on the card, and I said, what the hell am I doing? I remember coming back the next day, and I asked for a refund. By the way, I don't do refunds either. And here, you want to know why I don't do refunds? I think I've given 1 refund out of 500 clients, and I just didn't want to work with the person. I don't do refunds. So if you're thinking about working with me, I don't do refunds. Why? Something happened to me. So I paid Bob Proctor, and as you can imagine, I hit my terror barrier. I'm shitting bricks. How am I going to pay this? Oh my God! And I knew I was over my head. I couldn't do this. So I came back the next day to the Bob Proctor event, and I talked to the guy. I said, you know what? I can't do this. It's not my money. I don't know if I'm going to get clients. I can't make next month's payment. This is not for me. You know what he said? We don't do refunds. I was like, no. And I had no choice. I had no choice. They did no refunds. So I either just give up or I go all in. And what did I decide to do? I went all in. It changed my life. I earned my first $1 million in 18 months from that day because they did not accept refunds.
DeAndre, that him saying no refunds probably was the best thing that's ever happened to you.
Best thing, and that's why I don't give refunds to my clients, because now they have to go all in. If you're going to work with me, work with me. If you don't want to work with me, don't work with me. But if you're going to come in, go all in. It's the only way that this works. Remember, I don't need your guys' money. I want you to get results. Just think about it. I'm a businessman. Do I make more money from Leonard paying me $8,000, or do I make more money from turning Leonard into a testimonial, running that as an ad, and go getting 20 more customers from Leonard's testimonial? Where do I get more money from? That's how I scale my business. I scale because my clients get results. And I run those as testimonials. You guys see them on my YouTube channel. Client after client, boom, boom, boom. You start to believe. That is how I build a sustainable business. That's how we scale, because we get results for our clients. And they go all in. Like you'll hear from Anish in a little bit when he shares his story. So whenever you're going to make... Oh, I was going to tell you the story. I got a little distracted. So when I pay Bob Proctor, here's a really important key. I saw the $5,000 leaving my account, I guess you can say. I saw the $5,000 leave my account, or my account go negative, the credit statement. What I did not see was $100,000 months coming less than 60 days later. That is what you see. Some of you are going to have a choice here in the next 30 minutes when we talk about, hey, here's our business. If you guys want to work with us, we're not here to sell you. There's no massive pitch. I'm not doing any of that. If you guys... For some of you, already decided if you're going to work with us or not. Okay, like there's no crazy pitch, and I don't need that. It's an alignment thing, right? So what's happening is this: you have a choice, like I did. I'm getting the chills thinking about it, because I truly, genuinely want you guys to get results. As you can clearly see, I don't hold anything back. Like we said, we're going to be here for hours. We do 2-hour sessions, 3-hour sessions. Like I love doing this. We'll have a Q&A after this. We have Q&As tomorrow. Like we're just going to keep adding value to you guys. You guys will through. You know why? Because I'm not attached to individuals on this call. What I'm attached to is the laws. I'm working with the law of increase. I'm increasing your guys' life. Each and every one of you, whether you work with me or not, I have increased your life. I've touched your soul in one way. And the universe will, through some form, reward us. And I love that. So I just give. How can I help? How can I serve? Q&A, this, because we will get compensated in some way, some form. I don't know how. I don't really care. We're going to just go do it. And that's how we're going to build a massive company, was through the law of increase and multiple laws that we work with. So one thing that I really can only help you guys with is follow the path that I took, right? So I got Bob, and then I hired a mentor, right? And I just started doing things, and I went all in. If you want to know what separates me as the consultant of the other 6,000 that worked with Bob, is I had no choice. I was the youngest consultant with Bob. Even if some of you, there was like talking like, oh, you talk with Bob's company, that's fine. They know who I am. Clearly, they all know. If you go ask Bob's company, they know who I am. I was the number one guy with them. I was the youngest. I was the flow guy with like the tattoos and like the Miami. Like that was my thing, because I had to go all in. That is what separated me. So if you guys want to say, okay, what's the path? How do I do exactly what DeAndre did? I went all in. I had no choice. I went all in. So I hired a mentor. That was Bob. And then I went all in because I had no choice, because I had to. And I just studied and I worked and I took massive risks and I went through massive terror barriers. Massive. So Leonard, if you want to scale, you have to go to the same amount of risk and terror barriers that I did, to the point you're throwing up, to the point if you don't know if you can make it one more day, to like that. If you're at that point, holy shit, get ready to go buy your new dream car. Like that is how you know you're going to go to the next level. People think I just make YouTube videos and sit and meditate. They're lost. No, I work, I risk, I work, I risk, I work, I risk. And guess what? So can you. And I just want to pour belief into you that you can too. If you work and risk the right way with the laws, if you risk with the laws, then it will work out. Remember, we talked about spirit is always for expansion. I'm on a massive ass tangent, by the way. Right? Expansion and fuller expression, right? Spirit is always for expansion and fuller expression, meaning that whatever's inside of you is always for your growth. And if you start to believe this, your life will start to shift. Some of you are not working with this law. You're working in fear. You let fear dictate. The bank account, that's not what faith is. Faith is to see in your mind that dream, that truth, and allow it to come into fruition. That's what we're doing here. And I just want to pour beliefs that you can do that. Let's continue. Without any change that would come under the category of major change in your behavior, the terror barrier would instantly and automatically be standing between you and the good that you desire. It's on the other side of that fear that the good is there. That moment when I paid Bob Proctor scared the shit out of me. I remember I went to my homie's party in LA afterwards. I couldn't think. I was like, dude, how am I gonna pay this? Like, I couldn't even relax at the party. Like, I was just so stressed, like throwing up. Like, how am I gonna pay this? My grandpa. I didn't even tell my grandpa. Like, I was just like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing, and that's why I wanted a refund. I just was lost. I was just so scared. But guess what? That's what changed. When this happens, you have a choice. Everybody has a choice. You will either bounce back into safety or continue to experience and continue to experience the same year after year, or you're going to be courageous and experience the growth that you have been seeking. Your growth is on the other side of your fear. Me moving to Dubai was very fearful. Like, I didn't know anybody out here before Ali. Like, I didn't know anybody. I'm across the world. It scared me for many years. I was like, what if something happens? What if this? What if that? And I just booked my flight and I just left. I just made a decision. And we didn't have time to cover decision making, but that is how you match the frequency. Maybe we'll have a bonus call. Yeah, we'll have a bonus call because decision is such a power. That's how you actually bend the matrix, is by making decisions, but in certain ways that you make decisions that actually fuse with the state.
So maybe in the next challenge, DeAndre, right? Maybe we can do it in the next.
In our next challenge. Yeah. By the way, guys, I'm thinking our next challenge. By the way, I'm gonna. Should we let them know, Ali, about that mastermind we're talking about?
You might as well. You kind of spilled the beans. So
okay, check this out, guys. So I made a decision. So we're probably gonna have our next challenge. If you guys look at the calendar, I'm thinking around the 10th. Around that first week of January. So around the 8th, 9th, 10th, something like that. That will be our next challenge, just like this. It'll be a different theme. As you see, I have a massive program, so it'll just be a different theme. Science of Getting Rich, Think and Grow Rich, something like this. It'll be new teachings, right? Each month will be new teachings. The week after that, we are going to have our first in-person Dubai mastermind. You guys will come in, and this is going to be fun. Here's what I imagine. I don't know. So for those of you that want to come, we'll create it, but it's going to be like we're gonna work 8 hours a day, right? We'll have the whiteboard. We're going to work in your business, interactive. And then so it'll be like something like a Friday and a Saturday interactive. We'll go to dinner. And then on a Sunday, who likes cars? Like, who likes cars, by the way? Who likes the cars? Some of you, it's mostly the younger guys that like cars. We'll probably go do like a desert rally. Like Ali, by the way, if you saw me with all the cars, we went and did a desert rally. We'll probably go do that. We'll take like the GT3 RS, the McLarens, the Ferraris. We'll just do like some laps here. There'll be some fun stuff. It's a fun little side note, guys. A lot of you see the cars on my channel because remember, I was trying to be a car influencer before Mr. Law of Attraction. That's why I love cars personally, but that's what it will look like. But more on that a little bit later, okay? But you guys are the first one to hear about this, okay? So we're really fun, really excited to have that first one. But let's continue. So here's the 4 steps in the 4 steps in the psychological process of experiencing growth. Dealing with the terror barrier is this. The first one is bondage. So let's go ahead and let's talk about it. You guys are going to grow awareness over where you're at in the terror barrier. So bondage, that's phase number 1. In this stage, you are getting X-type results that you do not want. Follow me here. X represents results that you're in your current state that you do not want. These results are caused by X-type conditioning in your subconscious mind known as your paradigm. This stage is called bondage because even though you have the ability to originate new ideas, you continue to create X-type thoughts from the power that flows into your conscious mind. So let's break this down. Remember, there's a power flowing into your consciousness. And based on what you see, you look at the outside results, X-type results. They formulate in your conscious mind, X-type frequency, which then you plant into your subconscious mind with emotion, X-type frequency, which means that you have X-type vibration in your body, which means you take X-type results, and this is bondage. So this is where everybody is at right now. I don't care if you've hit some massive income goal. Each level, you're going to hit a new level of bondage. This is current state. Now, this is where some of you guys are at. I would say 50% of you are right here. Phase 2, reason. On a conscious level, you create a new idea of the life that you want, right? You've taken that life script, you've taken that C-type goal, And that's illustrated by the outside Y idea. This is an outside idea. You've taken a pen and a piece of paper and you wrote down what you dream of your new life, right? It's this outside frequency. However, you continue to get X-type results that you do not want, because you don't internalize the idea of acting on the Y-type frequency. You just deal with the Y-type frequency in the conscious mind, meaning mental masturbation. You're visualizing and daydreaming and visualizing and daydreaming, and that's about it. Not much more happens than that. Are you guys following me here? So you've entertained this idea of earning more money, having a better life, but it's only in the conscious mind, the part that only controls 5% of your results. It doesn't control your actions. All it does is help you think. In other words, you think about what you want. You can even mentally see yourself with the car, with the money, with the business, with the followers, with the clients. You can see yourself with it. But nothing in your life changes because you haven't internalized the idea, which means it hasn't reached the subconscious mind. So here you are with your C-type goal. You're imagining this dream life and you're meditating on it, but yet still conditioned in your subconscious mind is the X-type frequency, which means you have X-type feelings, which means you take X-type actions and you continue to get X-type results. If you're following me here, drop an X in the chat if you're following me here. Okay, it looks like you guys are with me still. Phase 3, conflict. Before we cover this state, it is important to understand that the ideas you're emotionally involved with control the vibration that you're in. The vibration on a conscious level is referred to as feeling. Feeling is a word that we invented to describe our conscious awareness of our vibration. So although the results that you are getting, you do not want, you subconsciously feel that you are comfortable at that vibration. Remember I told you yesterday, you are exactly where you want to be. Your bank account, your business, your life, your car, your house, your body, your relationship, you are subconsciously exactly where you want to be. It's a law. Think about this. You are matched at that frequency. You are fused with that frequency. That's why it showed up materially in your life. You want to be where you're at right now. What we have to do is change that. So in this stage, you act upon, let me just show you here. So in this stage, you act on and become emotionally involved in the Y idea. The moment the Y idea, which is that C-type goal, that script, is impressed upon your X-type conditioning, the electrical systems in your bodies goes crazy. You are in an XY vibration, and this is a chaotic vibration. What does this feel like? Worry, fear, and anxiety, and it strikes you at the physical level. So what does this look like? So here you are. You're in phase 2, reason. Most of you are in either category A, reason, or this next third phase, conflict. So you take that outside idea, conscious mind, you're not emotionally involved in it. But now, at some point, you are going to start to emotionally get involved with or plant into the subconscious mind this new version of yourself. The moment you do that, you have still not replaced that old version of yourself. Remember yesterday we talked about self-image, that you can formulate the self-image, but you're still running on your old programming? Remember we talked about that yesterday? So there's a point where you have both frequencies, your old version and your new version. Remember like the devil and the angel on your shoulder? It's like you have two people in the same body. It's called ambivalence. You have two different emotions towards the same thing. Two different opposite emotions towards the same subject. That's called ambivalence. You're up and down. So when you have successfully planted in this new version of yourself, you've taken it from the conscious mind, planted to the subconscious mind, you are in an XY vibration. An XY vibration is a chaotic vibration. It is ambivalence. It's up, it's down. Should I go? Should I stop? Should I buy? Should I not buy? Should I go? Should I do this? You're just all over the place. Ambivalence in the conscious mind is known as worry. You are worrying. Is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? Ambivalence at a subconscious level is known as fear. Ambivalence in the body is known as anxiety. This is a very chaotic feeling state that you guys are not accustomed to. If you study any very successful people, you will realize they work very well under pressure. Kobe worked really well under pressure. Most of these very successful people, they actually look for pressure. They look for these states because this is where they thrive. These are where the winners are made because the average person cannot perform under these circumstances. I need this. This is where I perform the best. So I create states where I can be in this state. But here's what most people do. Is that they feel this fear, and all three hit very fast. Fear, worry, doubt, boom, instantaneously. They have to make a decision. Do I go and do this, or do I stop? Do I go all in on this business, or do I stop? Do I hire that employee, or do I stop? Do I buy that coach, or do I stop? You hit this wall of fear instantaneously. All three levels. Boom, boom, boom. All three hit so fast with such impact that it just throws your body into a wild state. The conflict is unbearable. You're scared to go ahead, but you don't want to go backwards. You can't stay where you're at. It's impossible. You're either growing or dying. You're never staying stagnant. If you're not growing, you're dying. So you can't stay where you're at, and you're too fearful to go forward, but you don't want to go backwards. What do? This is where the 1% are made. You are being pulled into the unknown zone. That's what I'm coining it. Now, my nose is so stuffy. You get pulled into the unknown zone. That zone generates fear. The way I like to describe it is like hitting a clutch. Who knows how to drive a manual car? Who knows how to drive a manual car? You know, my first car I worked at CarMax for like 3 months. That was my longest job, and I used to just sit in the cars and play with the cars. I left that job. I don't do jobs. But when I worked at CarMax, I bought a car. My first car was a manual car. Actually, I bought a C63, but I bought this Audi. It was a manual car. I didn't even know how to drive it. Like I get in the car and it's my car and I just bought it and I'm like, shit, I'm gonna finna like you figure this driving out on the freeway. Great thing, it was a nice freeway drive. But yes, that was my first car. So when you're driving a manual car, right? You have the clutch, you have the gas, you have the brake, and you have the stick, right? You know, driving a manual car is like quantum leaping through terror barriers. What do I mean by that? So you're in first gear, right? And you're about to hit second gear, right? Level 2 character. What do? You can't just move the stick. What do you have to do? You have to hit the clutch, disengage from the gear or disengage from the material world, and then go into level 2. Now we're going to go into level 3. What do? Disengage, and that releases, and we go into level 3. That disengagement causes fear in your life because you're not between level 1 and you're not at level 2 yet. And you're in the unknown zone, like hitting the clutch of the manual. Does that make sense? You guys following me here? You are in the fear zone. You haven't yet hit your high levels of achievement, but yet you can't stay where you're at. So you hit the clutch and you have to have faith that that by hitting this clutch and you move in the right direction, that you'll land at the next zone or you're going to hit the next gear. That is where truth faith comes in. That's how we describe the terror barrier. So going into the next zone, you're going to have fear. Fear is generated in the unknown zone. When you hit the clutch and you're not in gear 1, nor are you in gear 2. You are in this neutral state. If you hit the clutch and you rev the gas, what happens? Nothing. You spin your wheels. Most people just stay there, but you can't stay there. You either have to go forward into gear 2 or stay in gear 1. But you can't, you got to do something. That's how we describe the terror barrier. Going ahead is the only way to improve your life. Everybody write that down. The only way to improve your life is to blast through your fear zone, known as your terror barrier. You must disengage and go through the fear. Remember what I said at the beginning of this call. Your degree of your quantum leap will be in the direct proportion to the amount of terror barriers that you're willing and able to go through. It's not about how many books you read, how many YouTube videos you watch, none of that. It's about how many how many terror barriers you're both willing and able to jump through, which is known as risk. That is how you know. However, a lack of understanding of exactly what is taking place inside causes a retreat, right? They bounce off this wall. They're not familiar about what's going on. So they bounce off this wall of fear back into bondage again. And they rationalize themselves. You know what? I can figure it out myself. I'll just watch more YouTube videos. I'll just read more books. I'll just do this. And they just rationalize themselves of why they shouldn't have gone to the next level. Oh, I didn't have the college degree. It wasn't the right timing. It was, whatever excuse they have. But at the end of the day, they have to look at themselves in the mirror and know that they did not go through that wall. That's it. At the end of the day, nobody is coming to save you. I don't care where you're at. I'm not here to save you. Only Jesus is here to save us. Nobody's here to save you guys. You're here to save yourself through the renewing of your mind. I'm bringing awareness to your mind so that you can save yourself through the redemption of your conscious mind, through your imagination, and through the multiple things I'm teaching you. By the way, if you guys are noticing that the law of attraction is way deeper than just reading The Secret, drop a 7 in the chat. You noticing that this is a language? We have the C-type goal. We have the law of attraction, law of vibration, the meditation, terror barriers, this, that. It's a language, and this is why I try to get you guys to understand. That's why I don't have to sugarcoat. That's why I'm the most, I don't feel the most, but I feel like I'm just genuine. Because I don't lie to you guys. Because I actually like to tell you guys it's a lot of work and that you're going to have to go through fear, because now I can vet the clients that I want. Because the people that just want to meditate a lottery, they're not even on this call. They're still meditating to get the lottery numbers. Like, good luck to you. Like, we want predictable and consistent growth month after month. That is done through work and going through terror barriers. So for that reason, I tell you up front, Leonard, this is work. You're going to have to study this stuff for the next 6 to 12 months. If you're willing to do that, you'll have the highest income months in the next year. If you're willing to do that, welcome aboard. See, that's what we talk about. The law of attraction, for most people in this niche, you are the product. That's why you have to keep watching their video every single day to get motivated. Law of assumption. Watch this video. And by the end of this video, you're going to, be in the law of assumption. By the end of this video, you're going to bend the matrix. No, you are part of his matrix. You're watching it for ads. Like, I don't sugarcoat. I tell you exactly what you need. This is a language. You have to understand all parts from the very top, which is setting the C-type goal, understanding the quantum leap, matching the frequency, putting your conscious mind to sleep. This, right? It's a language, but you can do it through study. Don't try to be at my level. I've been doing this 5 years full time. Okay? Some of you are just starting. That's fine. I was in your shoes 5 years ago. I'm just a little bit ahead of you. That's why I call you your big brother. That's why I call myself your older brother, your big brother. I don't claim I'm some expert. Clearly, I think I get paid like an expert, but I'm not an expert yet. I don't know if I can have a conversation with what's his name? What's his name? The smart dude. His name's escaping me right now, but I'm on my way. Okay. And that's how I see myself. And because I see myself in that light, Jordan Peterson, that's his name, Jordan Peterson. Because I see myself in that light, I just continue to grow. Like if I had a conversation with like Jordan Peterson, I would just be sitting there learning. I would just be sitting there learning, I love it. I'm just a student, guys. I still study Bob Proctor. Phase 4, freedom. Now, this is the difference maker. Who is going to be the one? Hey, Ali, we should have like a competition. This is what I'm thinking. Hey, hear me out, guys. Let's have a competition. Oh, we should have like a leaderboard, Ali. Are you here, Ali? Listen to this. I think what we should do is we track who's on this call, and we have a leaderboard. Who quantum leaps the most over the next 90 days from this challenge? And this is like this revolving thing. So we have Leonard, Arthur, Zeke, Azinam, Francisco, Rocco, and we have this leaderboard of who quantum leaps the most. Obviously, we need proof statements that you actually. By the way, whenever you see testimonials, we always show proof statements. We don't cap. There's no fake shit. Anytime you guys DM me like, yo, Quantum Leap, I'm like, send me the check. Show me the check. And if there's no check, then I don't bring you on the channel. We always vibe check you. But imagine that. If we check and we just have this leaderboard of quantum leaping, that'd be amazing testimonial. But anyways, the people that are gonna go and quantum leap over the next 90 days are gonna go into phase 4 right here. Let's describe phase 4. Phase 4 is freedom. Understanding permits you to step forward into growth and freedom. How do you gain understanding? Through study. Being on this call right now, you're just studying how to think. This is not work. Some of you think that this is work. You are not working being on this call. You're just learning and studying, and then you're going to get off this call in less than an hour, and that's when the work starts. The doubt, the fear, the anxiety has not left yet. However, through knowledge and study, you know if you persist, it will leave, leaving that fear. By continually getting involved with the why idea and acting upon it, despite the fear, over a relatively short period of conditioning, your life starts to change and you will begin a new reality. You will blast through the terror barrier, meaning you made a decision to fuse with the frequency. You made a decision to go through it even when you didn't see the material world. You made a decision and you did not react to the outside material. I guarantee all of you right now, whatever goal you're trying to move into, you do not have the money, you do not have the resources, you do not have the following, you don't have the partners, you don't have the capital, you don't have it, and that's the point. That is literally the point. You don't have it. That's if you did, you would have it already. It's on the other side of the fear that's stopping you. The moment you go through it will be the moment you go to the next level. Are you guys aware? Are you guys waking up a little bit now, right? It's not a YouTube video. It's not a meditation. It's this. That's why I said, I'll repeat it over and over again. The degree of your quantum leap over the next 90 days will be to the degree of how many of these terror barriers you go through over the next 90 days. So when a person is facing the terror barrier, various negative limiting thoughts are flashing upon their mind. And although they can see on the screen of their mind the good that they desire, they have absolutely no idea where the resources are going to come from, and that will enable them to help them reach their goal. That's why I know somebody has real faith. Faith is not looking at how much money you have, how much followers you have, what business you're in. Faith is seeing the truth and working as if it is real now. That is how I pulled myself out of poverty. As I saw the truth, I worked even though the outside world did not give me the resources. I built my resources. I created my resources. You guys have to wake up. And I say this as your older brother. I'm never talking at you. I'm talking with you. You have to wake up. There is a force that you have to do to get out there and bend the matrix to your reality and start earning multiple 6 to 7 figures a year. You do not know where the resources will come from. There's only one problem in the whole world, and that's ignorance. Ignorance is simply not knowing where it's going to come from, not knowing where things are going to come from. The greatest deterrent that is stopping a person from going through their terror barrier from freedom is ignorance. You don't know, and that's the point. They're not able to see where the money is going to help them. All things that you need for your manifestation will come in due time. You can't connect the dots moving forward, but you can connect the dots looking backwards. Therefore, you must trust that the dots will connect moving forward. If you look at your life in certain situations when you didn't know if you were going to make it, God always came through for you. He always will. So you have to act like he always will moving forward, just at a bigger degree and a bigger goal now. So when you look at that C-type goal, that is what we're going after. Your ignorance causes a limiting and destructive mental process to begin to take place. This process causes such discomfort that their conscious attention becomes focused on the negative side of their situation, and as a result, the negative side of life. Such thinking prevents them from continuing on in going towards the direction of their goal. That is what begins to happen. So you have two choices. The doubt, fear, and worry that you experience. Hold on, let me get this here. So you have two choices. The doubt, fear, and worry that you experience when stepping out into your comfort zone may cause you to do what most people do, and that's retreat back into safety. Are you going to be average or are you going to be a winner? Drop in the chat right now. Are you going to be average or are you going to be a winner? Unfortunately, most people, when they hit this zone where the growth is, they fall back into disintegration. They fall back into slavery to the matrix. Here's what you must do. You must break through. You have a choice. You break through. Here's another image here. You break through the wall of fear, or you go back into safety. Or you notice how I'm teaching theory right now, right? But each and every one of you have a specific thing. Like Zeke, there's something that you have to go. You have to sell the house, sell the business, start the new thing, move to a new city. That is what we're talking about. You have to go do those things. Apply what we did to your life. Everybody write down right now. I'll give you 15 seconds. Write down, it's already coming up on your mind because it's been scaring the shit out of you already as I've been speaking. Write down what is the terror barrier that you need to blast through. I'm going to give you 10, 15 seconds. What is the terror barrier that you need to blast through? Anish, are you here? All right, you guys ready? Did everybody write down their terror barrier? What they have to blast through? Great. So this is a perfect transition now for Anish to talk about his terror barriers and how he's able to quantum leap. So I'm going to introduce you guys to Anish right now. He's going to tell his story. He's actually one of my top clients. And the reason being is he actually did exactly what my funnel is, right? At the end of the day, I love giving, but guess what? I also a businessman and I have intentions, right? So if I help Anish make as much money as possible, he's naturally going to want to continue to work with me. And that's exactly what happened to him. He started in my smaller group, worked his way up, and now he's my top #1 client. Now he's going to be coming here to Dubai. So what happened to Anish? Anish, we'll tell your story in a second. So Anish, he came into this with a lot of fear. I remember our call. And he took his business from his highest income month at the time, which was $8,000. Within 2 weeks of working together in one-on-one, he scaled it to $27,000 a week. He didn't even know what he was doing. And he realized that it was a lot easier than it really was, that you can actually work with the laws. So I want to introduce Anish. Anish, I just want to you to just be genuine, man, and tell people what were some of the things that you did because they just think it's me, right? They just think it's me. They just think it's Ali. What were some of the things? And by the way, he's 22 years old, lives in North Carolina. Just give a brief little summary of yourself. And what are some of the things that you applied, that you tried? How did you apply this material to take your business from $8,000 a month to $27,000 a week? So welcome, Anish.
What's up, everyone? Thanks for having me on the call, DeAndre. Ollie, this is amazing. So, all right. So it was all through online fitness coaching. So I was in Thailand. I moved from North Carolina to Thailand just to go train martial arts. And while I was training martial arts in Thailand, I said, all right, I'm going to start my online coaching business. And basically, my light bulb wasn't on. So I didn't have a clear goal. I was just kind of winging it. I wasn't using any of the laws that we've been learning the last couple of days. So for 4 or 5 months, I only got one person to hire me. And he paid me $1,750 over the course of 5 months. That's all the money I made while I was living in Thailand. So one day I decided, my brother texted me, he was back in the US and he was working the job he didn't want to work anymore. And I was like, he's my younger brother. He texted me, I really hope you figure out how to make money out there in Thailand and make this work because I want you to teach me and I want to leave this job I'm in. And that was what caused me to make a firm decision. Okay. So then after making only $1,700 for 5 months, I made $2,000 in July. Okay. Then I made 8,000 in August, and that was my highest paying month and that I've ever had doing online coaching. So then after that, I saw DeAndre's videos around August. I kept seeing the same video of this dude who's standing next to a Rolls Royce or a golden Urus. I'm like, bro, it keeps popping up. And that was like one of DeAndre's YouTube videos. And I was like, okay, it keeps showing up. I better go ahead and just watch it because I'm into the law of attraction. I read Think and Grow Rich a while ago. So I listened to it and then I got hooked. I was watching your videos every day, going on a walk every day, listening. And I was like, all right, screw it. Like, it doesn't hurt to just do what he's saying. So I made my first gold card. This is the same gold card I made like back in Thailand months ago. And I still carry it with me. And it's 100,000 a month. So that was just from the YouTube videos. I was like, I'm not just gonna keep watching them. Let me take some action. Let me get a gold card. So I got my gold card. I just started reading it every day, every morning, every night. And what was actually really crazy is once I made a decision to change, after my brother texted me, the work became easy. It like maybe people have a preconceived notion. I did that like, okay, if I'm going to make a lot of money, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be ups and downs, which are I've come to realize are all true. But as soon as I made the decision, I enjoyed the ups and the downs just as much. So after watching DeAndre's videos for a while, I saw the school group. I was like, all right, let me join the school group because I'm getting so much value just from the YouTube. So I joined the school group, and from there, the second I joined, I give like a nice big introduction, and I'm like super energized, capital words here, emojis here, and it was like this couple paragraphs, and DeAndre was like, man, he DM'd me, and he was like, man, I see you have this big goal, 100,000 a month. Let's just hop on a call and talk. So I hopped on a call with DeAndre and hired him for one-on-one coaching. And then because I always knew that things go good for a period of time, and then I'm exceeding my self-image. I don't want to drop back to where I was. And so I knew I was on a high right now. I just want to keep it going and learn these principles and work with the universal laws. So that was the end of my $8,000 month. Okay. This was start of September. Hired DeAndre, and then he gave me, all right, listen to these meditations every day. It was like an hour and a half of meditations. And instead, I was like, should I listen to some of them or not listen to some? I was like, screw it, bro. I'm listening to them all down the list. Boom, 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 boom. Every morning. Started, watching the things and stuff like that. And I didn't even believe it at first. I didn't believe this gold card. I didn't believe any of it. But it's so strange how the subconscious mind works because soon enough, I was like, I can do this. When just a couple weeks ago, I was like, bro, am I crazy? Like to be thinking this, to be watching these rampages. So started implementing all the like do-it-yourself stuff, like the meditations and all that. Started believing in the goal more. And then I started approaching terror barriers. And then that's when the one-on-one really, really helped a lot. So 2 weeks after working with DeAndre, I was like, my results went down. And I was like, DeAndre, like, yo, what's going on, bro? Like, I haven't been closing as many clients. And I was kind of starting to worry and doubt, like we literally just talked about. And so DeAndre's like, dude, don't worry, bro. Don't worry. For everything to get better, for you to get set up to go to the next level, you have to have a setback. Because in that setback is going to cause you to raise your level of awareness and look for the answer, for the new answer, the pivot, or whatever it's going to be. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. So instead of, getting into this negative spiral, DeAndre kind of just pulled me out of it. I was like, all right, I can just got to stay focused, keep doing the same thing and keep my eyes out for what the next thing I need to do is. And soon after that, DeAndre had a call with me and said, bro, you got to raise your prices for your coaching. Just these little things that were said. I was like, all right, I'm going to raise my prices for coaching. And then on that call where you were telling me to raise my prices on my coaching, I had this random thought. So inspired action, guys. When you plant something in your subconscious mind and you're on that frequency, random ideas start to hit you, which are these terror barrier ideas. So on the call with DeAndre, I said, bro, I got to reach out to this one guy because I think he would pay me a lot of money because he needs my service. And he's been doing fitness training for like 5 years. And I've only been doing fitness training and coaching guys for a couple months, but I'm making more money than this guy. So I was like, all right, I think I can help him, but I'm nervous to reach out to him. And DeAndre's like, nah, reach out to him right after this call's over. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. The call ended. I texted him. He was like, man, perfect time. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. We met up the next day and I collected 12 grand from that client and been able to service him and do really well. And that week I did a total of 27,000 just because I was implementing. It's nothing special. It's repetition and it's the same thing over and over and over again. And the couple of tips helped me. So,
Yes. So I have a couple of questions. If you guys have a question, drop in the chat and maybe we ask Anish. So Nish, what was one of the biggest terror barriers you had since working with me? So from the moment you like came across my channel, whether you implemented before we hopped on a call or after, up to this point, like I'm actually curious, what was some of your biggest terror barriers that you blasted through that allowed you to hit those levels? Because
all
you
right,
need to know these
yeah.
things. People need
Yep.
to see how you applied them.
Let me tell you, bro. Let me tell you, because I definitely have one from the very get-go. So I didn't go into too much detail, but to go into more detail, I joined your school group, DeAndre, and I was watching the videos. And really, what actually inspired me to join was listening to Sarah's testimonial. So if anyone saw on DeAndre's YouTube channel that Sarah was this girl who went from like 300 to like 25,000 a month. And I saw your Instagram story, and I was like, bro, if she can do that, like, why can't I do it? Why can't I do it? Like, she's not special. I'm not special. I have the same power she has because I've been listening to the YouTube videos. We all have the same power that flows into us and through us. So, all right, so I can do it. So I joined this the school group, and you DM me, and DeAndre DMs me the prices first. Yeah, same testimonial. Yeah, it was a great testimonial. And so DeAndre on school DMs me the prices of the higher level coaching. And I looked at it, and for one-on-one coaching, it was 15,000 for 1 month. I was like, bro, I never spent this much. Like, I don't even have the money because all the money I made, I had to pay off debt. So I didn't have the money. I had a credit card, and my credit card had no limit. So when you sent me that, I sent a message back saying, all right, let's hop on a call. But I had to get through the terror barrier of giving you $15,000 that I didn't even have. Because, like you said earlier, I see the 15,000 on the credit card statement, but what I could have never seen or imagined is the 27,000 coming in 2 weeks later and all the knowledge I gained. I didn't see all that, but I just had to have faith and believe in what I couldn't see that, all right, you know what you're talking about, and I'm willing to learn and apply these things. And I don't want to go back to where I was. I definitely don't want to go back to where I was. I didn't want to go back to bondage. Screw that. So I had to blast that terror barrier, give you 15,000 on a credit card that I didn't even have. And then guess what? I made all the money back to pay off the credit card.
I love it. And he's
sounds
20.
like
Yeah, and he's 22 years old, guys. You notice this? He is a guy that just tapped in. All of you feel this right now in your energy right now. Like something's pulling you closer to this material. It's like you can be by yourself or you can be in a community. And he's a perfect example of a magnet. I think Ali, you were gonna say something?
I was like, think about it. Sounds like your story exactly.
Exactly. By the way, he's exactly like me. Exactly the same setup. Exactly. That's why I say Anish is very similar to how I started, and that's why he got the results. My best client testimonials are the guys that came in when they didn't have the money. They risked it all. And guess what? What happened, Anish, when you put that money in a credit card? What happened when you like got off the call? You're like, oh my God, I just put this money. What did you have to do when you looked at yourself in the mirror?
Bro, well, I don't know exactly the answer you're looking for, but I had to look myself in the mirror and say, it's gonna be all right, bro.
And you had to work. You took it seriously,
I had
right?
to work. I had to work. Exactly. Okay, yeah. So exactly. So I had to work. So I hired you on a Sunday. And I remember, all right, Sunday, it's the start of the week, time to start TIR. So, and time to start learning, time to start learning. So every morning, it's crazy because I was working like 8 hours a day on my business before I hired you, and really just doing like 30 minutes a day of meditation before I hired you. So the day I hired you, a lot shifted in my daily routine. So I would wake up in the morning, and the first thing I would do within 5 minutes of waking up is relax my body, set the intention for the day, and do a quick meditation. Because that's what you told me to do on our first call. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do that. And I would wake up, and then after that, I would write out my C-type goal 20 times on a sheet of paper. Then after that, I would do TIR. I would watch the material. Then I would read the material. Then I would answer all the questions in the material workbook. And then I would do an hour and 30 of meditation. So that whole process right there is like 3 hours, 3 hours. And I did that every morning and every night, every morning and every night. So basically, I took a step back from my business, working in the matrix, in the material world. And I took a step back to work on my self-image outside the matrix, working on the matrix, on my mind. And then I just spent, yeah. And so then I just spent the in-between time working on my business. So like less hours, but I was still working on it. And Every time I went to the gym, I was listening to the videos and the audios. Every time I was walking, because I lived in Thailand, so I did a lot of walking to the gym and to the coffee store and whatever. I just held this in my hand, my gold card, and just said it over and over out loud and convinced myself that I could do it. So yeah, I had to do a lot of work. You're right.
He became a product of the product, ladies and gentlemen, just like me. I am a product of this material. I live it, I breathe it, it's in my blood. I am a product of the product, just like Anish. That is the secret. Ali, you were gonna ask me a question?
Yeah, the one question I had a couple. Well, first, after me, we'll have one more question for Anish from the audience. So go ahead and type it in and we'll ask it. So my question is, how important, we've all heard of the information. We've all heard Bob Proctor, read the books, all this kind of stuff. How important was having a mentor to kind of like realign you as soon as you had terror barriers or you fell off track or like you had doubt and fear? How important was having a mentor?
Oh man, Ollie, what a good question. What a good question. I think it was extremely important. And there's no way. Here's the thing. If I hang around this, if you, me, or anyone hangs around the same people that you hang around right now, and you watch the same information and you do the same thing, you think the same thoughts, literally what was taught today. If you live that same life, you can't, it's going to be difficult to pull yourself out of it because every day you open your eyes and you're sucked back into the same beliefs that you've been having. So what I needed to do was, and I even learned this through the teaching, is it's very rare for someone to change without the help of a mentor or someone to guide them and keep them on track. It was extremely important because if I would have known how to do what I did, I would have already done it, if that makes sense. If people are picking up what I'm putting down. If I would have already known how to make the money, $20,000 a week, if I would have already known it, then I would have done it. But clearly there was a gap there. I had to change my self-image. And guess what? I didn't even learn any business savvy things from DeAndre at this point. DeAndre wasn't like, oh, you got to send this message and do this funnel. No, he kept me on track mentally. And I know for a fact that there was terror barriers like texting that coach and closing my first deal over 10 grand. I would not have done that if I wasn't on the call with DeAndre. There's a 0% chance I would have done that watching DeAndre's YouTube videos. I would have thought, DeAndre, he says, cross terror, oh, that's cool and all. No, but I'll cross one later though. I'll get there. I wouldn't have just texted him right there on the spot because DeAndre called me out. He was like, nah, right after this call, you got to text him. Like little things like that. Little things like that. Super important.
Amazing taking action. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want a quantum leap like Anish, drop a 777 in the chat. If you're the next one, a quantum leap, you're the next one to be a testimonial on the YouTube channel. Let's make that happen. All right, Anish. Thanks, brother. Thank you so much. By the way, so what happened with Anish? So he went ahead. He started with one-on-one. Then we upgraded him. Now he's in our quantum coaching program. And now he's teaching this material, getting clients. And we're going to scale Anish now to the 7-figure level. So we're super excited to have Anish here and just going to the next level. Ali, you saying something?
Yeah, DeAndre, tell them what quantum coaching is because we haven't mentioned that yet. So just tell them what that is so they understand.
Okay, so quantum coaching, guys, this is my dream of having consultants around the world teaching this material. By the way, I'm actually kind of curious. Drop a 3 in the chat if you would love to share this material. Like there's something inside of you calling you to share this material with other people, maybe even earn an income off of it, 6 to 7 figures, right? So that's basically my dream. We're building it right now simultaneously with our own company. So just like I was a consultant with Bob, we're building our own consultants, and Anish is now one of them because it just became part of who he is. So we have our quantum coaching program, which I'll talk about here in a second, and more about it tomorrow. If you guys are curious about that program, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Some of you are already DMing me about that. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But anyway, it's ability for me to invest into you to teach you how to grow the business of like what I'm doing here, what I learned with Bob, how to study it, but not just study it, but to study it and pass it on to other people. To study it, pass it on, and to earn 6 to 7 figures while in the process of doing it. Helping you build infrastructure, how to teach it, how to live it. That's what we have, and I'll get a little bit more into that with tomorrow. But with that being said, so check this out, guys. I'm kind of curious. Drop a 6 in the chat if you're actually kind of curious about. Okay, like I'm interested in working with you, DeAndre. I want to know if I just want to, talk about a little bit of meditation, or if some of you are like, hey, like, what would it actually look like to work with you? What are your prices? Drop a 6 if you guys. I'm just kind of curious to see what I should talk about right now. Okay.
All right.
Okay, looks about half. Is it okay if I like talk a little bit about like the different programs that I have? By the way, is this not no hard pitch? There's not some crazy shit. I'm just talking about it really briefly. I'll give you my calendar link. You guys can hop on a call with me. It'll be a call with me. It's not a salesperson. You'll have a call with me. All right. That's what we'll talk about. So I'll drop that. Is that okay if I talk about that? I can talk about that? Okay, cool. All right, so let me tell you briefly, okay? What this looks like. So I have currently, by the way, don't leave yet. We're going to talk about meditation in tomorrow's class. I'll just talk about this for 5 minutes, and then we'll talk about the meditations that we have for tomorrow. Okay, really briefly, because some of you want to work with us and you're an action taker. Okay, so here's what it looks like. There's 2 programs that I have. Okay, my Quantum Leap program. I'm teaching you from my Quantum Leap program. Okay, so here's what it looks like. Here's the avatar. It's law of attraction for business growth. I'm here to scale your business. Think about this. I want to help you make as much money as possible. I'm a businessman. Lou, Denise, Olaf, if I help you go make more money this year, guess what you're going to naturally want to do? Come to my mastermind in Dubai. Join this program. Do this. You invest more money because I help you make more money. That's how my business works. That's what happened to Anish. That's what happens to all those testimonials. So that's why I have a financial incentive. So I'm really like, I don't want to say the word strict, but I'm very clear on who exactly I want to work with, because there's certain people that I can get results with quicker and some people that I shouldn't take them yet. They need to be more on the information level. Okay. So my upper level program, the one I'm teaching from right now, is for solopreneurs stuck around the 6-figure level. Okay. You guys are stuck between, on the lower end, maybe 5. That's kind of pushing it, but really the best ones are between 8 to 30,000 a month. Okay. 8 to 30,000 a month. If you're making less than 6,000 a month, like I said before, what you're lacking right now is more information. That's kind of like where you're at right now. But if you're making more than 6,000 a month, you know what to do already. You need better implementation of the C-type goal, the terror barrier, this, and that, okay? And the goal for you is you want to make at least $100,000 a month in profit or more. Don't hire me if you just want to make 30 grand a month. Okay, like go hire a funnel guy, go hire a copywriter. You want to go to 7 figures. We only talk 7 figures here. Like our environment, it's 7 figures a year or 7 figures a month. We just need you to think bigger. Okay, so this is a higher level group for 6 and 7 figure earners. So the average person already in our group makes about 15 to 95,000 a month. That's the average person. Now, if you make less than that, we can still talk about accepting you, because sometimes if you swim with bigger fish, you'll swim faster. Okay? So basically what it comes down to, I don't want to get too in depth. You guys can take a screenshot. I'll talk more about it tomorrow. Like, I'm not here to pitch you guys. But basically, you're going to have Bob Proctor. Remember the program I work with Bob Proctor called Thinking into Results? I give you that program. So you're going to get the Bob Proctor program that scaled me to 100,000 a month when we have 2 weekly calls, Tuesdays and Thursdays. All right? So here's the prices. If you guys were clear, like I don't sugarcoat anything. 1-on-1, 25,000 a month. Okay? I can maybe take one. I have 4 right now. Okay? 40 grand for 3 months, $150,000 a year for the year, 12 months. Okay? That's for one-on-one prices. Some of you are like, holy shit. All right? That's the one-on-one prices. Okay? That's fine. Now we have group coaching, 8,500. Okay? And that's for 3 months access. So we'll be working together twice a week for the next 3 months. Okay? We do have payment plans. You're like, hey, I don't have 8,500 right now. You can put half down, about 4.5. It's flexible, okay? So you put about half down, give or take, and then you make monthly payments over 2 months. Here's a fun fact, guys. I want to show this to you. Actually, I'm going to cover up their names. And by the way, I'm going to show this in real time. So out of all the clients we have, 19, okay? Let me cover their names here so you guys can't see. So we brought in about $250,000 the last 2 or 3 months here. Guys, none of our clients in the upper level program are on a payment plan. Half of them started on a payment plan, but they started making cash and they all paid off the program. You can see like one-on-one clients. This client paid 40 grand, 22 grand, 15 grand, 8 grand. Like this is real time. None of our clients are on a payment plan. That's how confident I am with our product. By the way, Ali didn't know I was going to share this. Like this is our back office here, right?
Yeah,
people come in here.
That one approved.
Yeah. People come in here and they might start on a payment plan, but they not legally. Don't record me and come call a lawyer, right? This is just unofficial. 60 to 70% of our clients quantum leap, and if not, make their money back the first month. It's just inevitable. That's why I'm really kind of dialed in on what kind of clients we work with. If you're making anywhere from 6 to 30,000 a month already, it's inevitable you're going to have a quantum leap. Okay, not legal advice. That's what it is. Okay. Then, anyways, I'm going to continue. Ollie, you want to say something on that?
No, you're good. You covered it.
Okay. So I'm very clear about the pricing. We're flexible if you want to start on a credit card payment plan, whatever. Okay. And then we have our Quantum Leap Mastermind. For some of you, you're like, all right, I don't have 4,500 for a down payment or 8,500 or 20 grand. Like Lou might be like, hey, bro, I want one-on-one with you. I want to scale. I want you to get me to the next level. All right, we talk about that. But some of you, you're not in that position. Okay. What we do have at $299 a month is our school program. This is all this is. Let me be very clear for you. Okay. I want to set expectations. By the way, we're going to get to meditations here in a second. As you notice, I'm not doing a hard pitch. I'm just very clear. Intuitively, some of you are like, all right, I want to book a call. Some of you are not for you. Don't worry. We'll get to meditations here in like 2 minutes. Okay. I highly recommend what you guys need. You don't need information, Lou, Denise, Olaf, Rocco, Edie, Nikki. You don't need information. What you need is implementation. What we do on the higher level is I focus on teaching you how to implement. The information as you see here, I give you for free. If you guys just want information only, which is what 95% of you really don't need unless you're making less than $2,000 a month, then you just join the school program. That's $299 a month, okay? This program, I originally made it, do you want to be honest? I made it for my younger brother. My younger brother, he's like 20 years old. He smokes weed. He like drinks. He like parties. And I was like, this guy needs to get his life together, right? So what's the 1 or 2 steps that he needs to kind of get life together? So I originally made it for my younger brother. Guys that like need to get their life together, get business together. So I created a program, and that's why it's only $299 a month. And this one is focused on information, locking in, getting your life together, your daily meditations, your wake-up times, just getting things together. So this is an entry-level program around the law of attraction and life growth. Okay, you still focus on law of attraction, but it's for people making less than $5,000 a month, really less than like $3,000 a month. If you have less than $1,000 to your name right now, this is probably the good program for you, unless you want to take that jump to the higher level like I did. I can't help you make that decision, but like that's what I did. I didn't want to be in the lower. I wanted the top. Went straight for Bob Proctor's highest program. And this is focused on a course and a community. We have 1 weekly call, but you're going to wait in line with everybody else. And this is focused on information. You're going to study by yourself. You have the workbooks by yourself, and you do everything. And it's information to try to get you enough money to upgrade, like a niche. He started here, and then he upgraded. Remember, my intentions are very clear. I help you make more money so you upgrade with me, right? I don't have some alternative motive. Because now you become a testimonial and we grow as a company. So those are the 2 programs that we have, okay? And then what we'll do, and I'll talk about this more tomorrow, and then we're going to transition over to the meditation section. Okay, so for anybody that joins here in this weekend, we'll talk more about this tomorrow. You get a one-on-one call with us, okay? Whatever program, by the upper level or one-on-one, okay? So you'll get a one-on-one call with me, a one-on-one call with Ollie. You get an extra month of the Quantum Leap program, and you get 3 months access to our Quantum Lifestyle group. So if you're a coach, you want to create a digital product, I have many courses in there, and I'll just give that to you for free. Like I don't gatekeep information. I give you information for free. Anyway, so if any of you decide to book a call and get started in any of our programs, you'll have a one-on-one call with me, and you'll have a one-on-one call with Ollie, okay? So Ollie, if you want to drop my calendar link, what you do, the call is with me. It's not with a salesperson. Okay, you're not going to book a call with John, the sales guy. It's going to be a call with me, but let me be very clear before you guys book the call. This is not a coaching call. Okay, my link is in the calendar. I'm not going to coach you on the call. This is a call where we're going to discover where you're stuck. So Lou, I'm going to ask you, how long have you been in business? What's your income? What's your goal? What's your current territory barrier? What's this? What's that? And we're going to discover. I'm not pitching you guys. I've never pitched anybody. We're going to discover, like a doctor, where you're stuck at. We're going to make it clear what you need to fix. Then you have a choice. I'm going to say, Lou, you can work with us, or you can go and fix it yourself. 90% of the time, what do most people do? They want to work with us. And this is what I've done. I've done 5,000 calls in this offer. 5,000. I've never hard pitched But this is very clear because some people think it's going to be a coaching call for free. That's not what this is. I'm going to ask you questions, and we're going to discover, Denise, what is your terror barrier we need to go through? What is the C-type goal? What is it? How do we apply specifically to you, Mika, to Rocco? What do we need to fix here? Then you have a choice. What program would you like? I'll say, hey, join the school group, $299, or join my upper level, or join one-on-one, and then that's it. We get off the call. Everybody's happy. You found out what you wanted, or you join the program, and that's just what it is, okay? So you can, calendar is there, and that's good to go. All right. By the way, does anybody have any questions before we talk about meditation right now, and then we're going to kind of wrap up for the day? Any questions about the coaching, the offer, or any of that right there? You guys can drop in the chat. If you have a question, drop a 1 in the chat. I'll answer a couple of questions, and then we'll move into meditation section.
In my opinion, everyone should be in Quantum Lifestyle. The school group is solid. It's the best way to get started, affordable, and once you make one quantum leap, that's all you need.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. So let's see here. Perfect. Okay, let's talk about the meditation. So what do we have going on for tomorrow? Okay. So let me get this here. Now, how do we come in here and we plant this into the subconscious mind? Which is the key. You got to take all this information and plant it into the subconscious mind. So we have the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the body. So you see this barrier right here? This is the barrier between the conscious and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind, as we learned yesterday, is the filter of what allows information and ideas and images to pass on to the subconscious mind. But how do you actually do that? How can you, for example, put the conscious mind to sleep? Put the conscious mind to sleep and then raise up the subconscious mind so that you can plant the images of what you want. This is the key. Remember, the subconscious mind has only understands 2 languages. Images backed by emotion. Images backed by emotion. So what we're going to do is the only way that we can reject the outside world, the most powerful way, it's not the only way, but the most powerful way is to reject the outside world. Close your eyes and then your internal world becomes more real. Watch, let's do this exercise right now. Everybody close your eyes. And I just want you to imagine your C-type goal. Think of that script that you built. Think of that script. What is it? Imagine it right now. Put some more emotion behind it. Okay, join me back. Join me back, everybody. You see how for just that 10, 15 seconds, how that became more real than whatever was around you? That is what we do with meditation. It's a practice that we do to reject the outside world, to make the internal world more real. In this state, it becomes a lot easier for you to see your C-type goal, to see your script, live from that state. It's easier now for you to see the images backed with emotion. Does that make sense? It becomes easier at that point. So what we're going to do, let me come back over here. What we're going to do is through certain meditations, we are going to shut off the outside world. We're going to shut off the outside world. So this is shutting off the outside world here. And we're going to make this world more easier for us to speak to. Okay? That's what this meditation will allow us to do. And we're going to do this tomorrow, okay? What are we going to do once we shut the conscious mind off and become in this place of the subconscious mind? We are then going to quantum jump to the future version of ourselves. So here's what this will look like. Okay? So here you are in your current state. Here we are in your current state. Here you are in your desired state. Remember, the things that you have in your life right now are a manifestation of your current thought patterns. We think on frequencies. So, what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to come here and we're going to jump to the future version of ourselves. And I'm going to guide you on how to do this. And so you could do it for yourself. You're going to jump to this future version of yourself. You're going to live at this future version of the self and you're going to download information. Informations will come in the form of beliefs, ideas, images, emotions. Many things will be downloaded from the state. You will then come back after the meditation. You're going to come back to your current material reality, but you're going to come back with information, downloads, frequencies, and ideas that you didn't have before you started the meditation. Meaning, the information that you have is from a higher frequency version of yourself. Therefore, if you were to act upon this information here, you will then quantum jump to this world. The actions that you will do will be quantum actions, which then therefore means you will then match the frequency of this material world, and that which you wanted in the quantum realm will then manifest into the material realm. This is called the law of perpetual transmutation. So we're going to learn how to quantum jump to this future version of ourselves. So that's going to be tomorrow. So here's what tomorrow looks like. We're going to have a guided meditation. You're going to hear from another person, their testimonial, another client that we have here. And then we're going to have a Q&A session, a deeper Q&A. Maybe we take 1 or 2 questions right now, and we're going to have a full probably 20, 30-minute Q&A. By the way, if you really want to see me work and you want to see some crazy-ass shit, be on the Q&A. That's where I'm free flow, right? Right now I'm kind of going through my little system. But once you have questions, boom, I can just go off. Like you guys have seen me on a whiteboard, boom, I get really in depth. And I just start feeling it and I just start teaching you on ways that will blow your mind. So that's what tomorrow we'll look at the meditations. We'll do a Q&A and you'll hear from another client, okay? But what we'll do is we'll take maybe 1 or 2 questions.
Let's do 2. I got you.
Okay.
If you already asked the question the last couple of days, let someone else go. You
Yeah.
could type your question. Okay.
Yeah, and before we get in there and ask that question, I saw Tony, you booked a call. A few people have already booked a call. Remember, if you, I'll put it in the chat right here. Don't be afraid, guys. Like some of you are thinking, oh, I don't have the money, all this, and you guys are hitting terror bear. Literally, there's a terror bear of you booking a call. I'm not gonna sell you. Like, look, I'm not selling you now. Like, there's no force. It's like, hey, get on the call. We'll find out. And if it's a good fit, it's a good fit. We get you started. We take you to the next level. Some of you have already booked the call. Already see notifications on here. Book a call. We see what we can fix, and we'll take your business to the next level. I want you to be a testimonial. Guess what? Like Anish said, he joined because of a testimonial from another person. So I turn you into a testimonial. We go to the next level. So if you look at the chat, somebody else just booked. I just saw it right now. Evelyn, I just saw you booked. Tony, just saw you booked. I missed that on the money. So I didn't understand. But anyways, we'll also post a link in the school group. But whoever joins the program, you're gonna get a one-on-one call with me and Ollie. We're throwing that in as a free bonus. Ollie will help you with infrastructure, branding. I'll also help you with mindset stuff. Anish is my only, not my only, but my top level client where we only work with one-on-one stuff. Like he's at the top. So right now I only have 4 one-on-one clients. So if you want to go ahead and book in there. Okay? Don't be afraid, guys. You're not going to get pitched. Okay? It's super low key. All right. First question.
All righty. Who got a question for us? Raise your hand. DeAndre, you have your thing up. Milan, let's let someone else go.
Who has a question for me? It can be about anything.
Take it. This is part of the opportunity. Take the opportunity, guys. No more terror barrier. Come on. What questions we got? Then I'm gonna have to let Milan go, and he's gonna tell us that he shot a music video in the last 24 hours. What we got? I don't know how to raise my hand. Okay, let's go.
Julian.
Where do you see that? All right, there we go. Evelyn, Julian. Okay, come on. Julian, let's go. I asked you to unmute. Go ahead.
Hey guys, so Andre, my question is, how do you find the terror, if the goal is fit for you, or if it's a goal too low, let's say?
So it was a little hard to hear you, brother. What was the question again?
how do you know if the goal is fit for you or if it's too low?
Oh, if you feel fear. Remember, that's what we talked about today. You only know if the goal is correct if you feel fear. If you think big, you act big. If you act big, you get big results. This is the massive key on how to quantum leap, ladies and gentlemen. You have to feel the fear. Remember, I told you that story of how I hit that first 100K month. I'll tell you the story so you understand how to apply this. Okay, so it's not just theory. You have to set a goal that's so scary that you have to ponder on it for a couple weeks, and it scares you and it causes you to think thoughts that you never would have done prior. So remember, at the time, the most I ever had in my bank account one time was like $1,800. Most I had ever made in 1 month was $10,000 one time. I was always broke. So when I met Bob, what I would call an A-type goal would be a $10,000 a month because I hit it once, and I was like, if I can make $10,000 a month at 24 years old, I'm chilling. Like that's what some doctors make, right? That's what some lawyers make. That'd be chilling. But that would be an A-type goal because I would hit it once. And then I went to a B-type goal. I was like, okay, well, 30,000 a month. That sounds nice, right? I could probably get 3 clients post on social media, and I can maybe run some ads, and I can make 30,000 a month. That would be a B-type goal because I was formulating a plan. If you are formulating a plan, it's the wrong goal. If you have a plan right now to hit your goal, it is too small. That is like 95% of you, I guarantee you. You should not have a plan to hit the goal. That is the key because what's going to happen now is you're going to open up space to download information from the quantum realm, the quantum field. Because now you're going to move to a fantasy. That fantasy is at the higher frequency, like I just showed you. When you quantum jump, what we're doing tomorrow, you're going to jump to this future version. And what's going to happen through repetition, what I told you, it takes 3 to 6 weeks. If you hold the feeling state, within 3 to 6 weeks, you're going to get a download. You're going to get hit while you're driving, taking a shower, cooking, sleeping. You're going to get an idea. When the idea hits you, it's going to scare the shit out of you. Evelyn, Mika, when that idea hits you, it's going to scare you. It is at that point you have found out the exact methodology for you to go to the next level. That is the one. Remember I told you I had to call that guy Jason Stone? And I was like stressed. I was like, oh my God. That is how you know that's the right path. Because that is the terror barrier. If you remember, I told you, and this is why it's so key, you have to understand this philosophy. The quantum jump is to the degree of how many terror barriers and how big your terror barrier is. So you have to feel the fear. That's the best way for me to summarize that question, okay? Did that help you?
One more thing. I want to work with you and become a consultant. I would love to. Should I book a call and take it there?
I think. Are you the one that was messaging me on school about that? No?
No.
Okay. Just book a call.
I just got the insight.
Yeah, just book a call. By the way, if you guys want to join our quantum coaching program, this is something where I'm heavily invested into you guys. So we're kind of careful who we take on, but book a call, we'll talk about it because I have a financial investment to make sure you guys are successful. Because now you're going to come out here and you're representing the brand, like you're a consultant. So each week we have weekly calls. I teach you about branding, making YouTube content, how to build a personal brand, how to get clients, how to sell, everything. Like I teach you everything that I know on how I do what I do for the last 5 years. It's an expensive thing, guys, because I want to deter people from this. When you join in here, you're serious. But when you get in here, it'll change your life. It's not easy. Listen to me right now. If you want to do what I'm doing, this will be the hardest thing that you do, but it will be the most fulfilling thing that you do. You're going to help a lot of people. You're going to change lives, and you're going to earn a lot of money in the process, but it will be the hardest thing that you do. If you're willing to do that, then we can talk about it. And I want to tell you that. I'm not going to say it's easy. It's not. But if that's the case, book a call. That's called my quantum coaching program. Okay. That's actually working with me. We're business partners. Okay. You can book a call. Just put it in the calendar. Okay.
All right. We got 2 more questions. First, I'm going to pick Mika. I think
it's Evelyn. Evelyn's next.
Okay. Let's go with Evelyn. Mika's afterwards.
Yeah,
go ahead, Evelyn.
Rob, I just see you booked the call. Nico Sana, just saw you booked the call. Evelyn, Lynn, Tony, like all you guys are popping up right here. Congratulations. We'll have a chat. Worst that happens, you're gonna just learn more about where you're stuck at. Okay. Best case, you get started with us. Next question.
Yeah, thank you for sharing all of your knowledge with us these few days. My question is more about listening to one person. So you mentioned in the beginning you learned from different people like Napoleon Hill, and learning from them, you can put all of that into your into everything that you do in life and business. So why do you think it's important to listen to just one individual, like yourself, who's sharing information on law of attraction, to then be able to grow in your life and in your business?
That's an amazing question. This is something, guys, you can't find anywhere else. So I had the privilege and the honor to study with Bob Proctor directly in his inner circle. There's only two ways to study with Bob Proctor. You earn it by being a top consultant like I was. I was number one for months. Okay. So he obviously takes you under his wing. Or you pay for it. You spend $30,000, $50,000. I did both. I spent $150,000 working with Bob. So one of the biggest lessons that I learned from Bob was two things. And this is what I teach my clients internally. I don't like all this information. I give it to them. What I teach is this, like, this is the sauce right here. How much Bob studied repetition. If you guys got to know him, he would read the same freaking book not even the same book, the same page. There are certain programs where I would spend like 10 grand a week, like 10 grand a month. It'd be like 3 grand a call. We would study the same article every day. And I'm like, damn, I just spent $4,000 for this to read the same article again. And it was in these moments that I was like a little frustrated as a 24-year-old guy, but I finally learned what Bob was like teaching me. It was that he would truly study things to understand. The biggest misconception that people have right now is they're jumping around to this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy. Like, for example, I know you're not this. For those of you that found me on YouTube, I'm not the only YouTube channel you watch. You watch this guy on Law of Assumption. You watch this guy with the whiteboard teaching. Like, I know you know what I'm talking about. You watch all of us. The problem is you're watching too many people. So other than the repetition, there was one thing I learned from Bob. I'll show you right here. What you guys are seeking is you're seeking the truth. You're seeking truth. Truth is this material. All thinking minds have come to the conclusion is that we become what we think about. They may have disagreed on politics and red and blue and Trump and this and that. They may disagree on a lot of things, but one thing they all agreed on is that we become what we think about. That's the truth. Here's the thing, though, guys. There's many ways to get to the truth, and there's layers to get to the truth through consciousness, through time, study, experience, right? These are rings of life and experience. So here's what most people do and why they fail. They will start to study Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and they start doing meditations and the 1-hour meditations, and they go to the retreat and they do Dr. Joe Dispenza for a week. Shout out to you, Julian. Just saw you booked a call as well. So, and then they go and they started Bob Proctor. They do Bob Proctor and they start doing the I'm so happy and grateful, and they carry a gold card. And then they come over here and then they start studying Law of Assumption with Neville Goddard. And then they're here, and then they're here. You get what I'm saying? They're all over the place. They're all teaching the same exact thing. Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale. They're studying from me. Or we can even talk about New Age. They're studying from me. They're studying from Elmer or neuro-knowledge or Quasi, right? We're all the same people. All teaching the same thing. But what's happening is you guys are half pregnant on 5 different mentors. Let me repeat that one more time. You're half pregnant on 5 different mentors. What I learned very quickly on from Bob was that he only studied 2 to 3 people max his entire life. Napoleon Hill, Thomas Troward, and that was it. And he went deep. He went deep on one person. And that's what I did. For 2.5 years, I only studied Bob Proctor. One thing Bob Proctor said to me is, DeAndre, if you study this material, you're going to need a telescope to look back at your life. I didn't believe him, but it really happened. He said, put away the books. By the way, I'm not here to pitch you guys. I just want to tell you my story. A lot of people will say, DeAndre, what did you do? And I tell them my story. They think I'm selling them. I'm not. Hey guys, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. We can delete. I don't even know how to delete that, but if you can delete that, I appreciate that. I don't pitch you guys. I just tell you my story. Okay. So one thing that Bob said is put away the books. Put away the books. And so that's what I did. I put away all the books, all the study, and I only studied one thing for 2.5 years. That one thing, if you want to know exactly what I studied, it's called Thinking into Results. It was the Bob Proctor program that I was selling at the time. That's the same program that I give to my clients, and all of you that booked the call here, I give you that program for free. The same program that took me to $1 million, I give that to you for free. I studied only that. No books, no everything. And I went deep on Bob Proctor for that 2.5 years. I became a good student. And I was able to like understand and learn. And I got really deep to the point where I can teach from the heart now, not teach from a book. If you notice, I don't teach from a book. I teach from my heart and from experience. You guys can feel that. So what you're going to want to do, Evelyn, whether you select me, by the way, my lineage is Bob Proctor. So if you're studying Bob, you're studying me. If you're studying me, you're studying Bob. Same lineage, okay? And obviously, I'm clearly the new. I don't say I'm the new Bob Proctor. I'm Mr. Law of Attraction. Yes, sir. I'm my own version, but I come from the lineage of Bob Proctor. Napoleon Hill. So it goes Napoleon Hill, Bob Proctor, me. I would say study 1 to 2 people max. If you want to do what I did, study just one person. And I go all in on that person, invest with that person, go all in with that. If it's Neville Goddard, whether it's the Napoleon Hill Foundation, whether it's me, whatever, just go study that one person and go down deep for at least 2 years. And then you can move on to the next level. That's what I would say, Evelyn. Good question. Did that help you? There you go.
Okay, sweet. Let's do one more.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Miko is next. Mika, first I want to commend you. I know you guys are grinding back there, but you tuned in every day, so appreciate you. See the dedication.
Thank
But I have
you.
to ask you, what you cooking? I gotta know.
Yeah.
Everything. Everything. Caramel macchiato for starters, and lots of stuff. It's a cafe. Thank you guys so much. I've learned, I've been studying this work for a while, and it's synchronistic because this past week, like I've been feeling like I'm usually steady, right? I'm usually like happy-go-lucky and just like steady. And I feel like I've ascended like spiritually. And then you just said today, which just blew my mind, the terror barrier. And I was wondering, like, why am I up and down, up and down? Like, I've been feeling like that. I'm like, good. And I'm always consistent. But the last week or so, it's like up and down. And you explained it really well today. And I didn't even know that you were going to talk about the terror barrier. And so that's what I've hit. And I'm like, and you said it like you have to go through it in order to get to the other side. So it blew my mind that you were talking about that. And I didn't know it was a real thing. And I'm like, I need to talk to someone. I'm usually the person that people come and talk to. And here you are describing what I've been feeling this past week.
Yeah, you're just growing in your awareness now, and that's what it comes down to. It's just being emotionally stable and emotional intelligence so that you can navigate the world. That's all it is. Understand all these laws are. It's just understanding self and relationship to the laws around you. That's all this is. And as you grow your conscious awareness, you're able to level up because now you're becoming aware of what you're thinking about, and you can surpass that. And you level up your character. You go from level 10, level 12, boom, 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 and you continue to go to the next level.
Wow, that's good. It's just more like I've noticed I've been reacting to like my outer environment. That's the thing that's like a little conflicting because it's like as an entrepreneur, you deal with a Goliath that other people never have to deal with. You know what I mean? You deal with circumstances that people that work a 9 to 5 don't have to deal with.
Yeah.
And it's like, it will bring other people to their knees and you're having to like, okay, you're having to nurture yourself through the process.
That's where the thinking process comes in, and this is why you get rewarded on the back end but you just change your perspective, and that's how you get to the next level. You know, you're right where you need to be. I don't know specifically where you're at right now, like and what you're trying to level up to. If we had a conversation and we'd be able to do that, like whether it's opening up more franchises, getting more employees, opening up new menus. We actually have a client right now, Anisha's mom. Actually, she has a restaurant and she has like we're scaling her goal is $9 million a year in revenue. She has locations in the airport. She has food trucks, 2 brick and mortar,
Wow.
and like yeah. So we're scaling her business to the next level. She wants to get the Michelin 5-star. So that's where her C type goes. So we're working on her to help her do that. So
That
so it's
is
fun.
crazy good.
Yeah. So yeah,
Wow. Thank
congratulations.
you.
We'd love to see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah. Final question, Chino. You're the last hand raised, and then guys, we're gonna be back tomorrow for the meditation. So make sure you're here. Don't make sure you be here. Chino, you're muted.
You gotta
Yeah,
hit unmute. Brother. There we go.
am I good?
Yeah,
Yep.
we hear you now.
Hey, DeAndre, big fan, bro. You actually remind me of my friend Uriel. You guys give me the same energy, bro. So whenever I saw you on YouTube, this motherfucker clicked, bro. Like, yeah, you guys had. And fun fact, I actually quantum leap 2 weeks ago, bro. I actually doubled my income following your steps and Nero's steps. Me and my girl actually, fiance broke up. 2 weeks later, bro, I fucking doubled my income.
Nice.
And right now, I'm learning from you, dog. You and fucking Brock Proctor and Neo and never got her. But anyways, my question is, my niche is TikTok shop, right? I
Nice.
want to hit my C goal is 10K a month.
Oh,
That's
that's
my
easy,
goal.
bro. We have a client right now. She's doing 11K. We quantum leaped her. We're getting her to 30K. Like in
That's
the first
fucking
first couple of weeks, and we're gonna scale her to 1 million. We already built out the plan with her. That was 2 weeks ago. Ali, whenever we met at that cafe with the shisha, we built her whole plan to take her from 11K a month to 100 grand a month, opening up new TikTok accounts, running ads. Like we built her whole thing out to scale. But anyways, yeah. What's your question?
my question is, yeah, man, just how can I vibrate at that energy of making 10K a month? Right now, I have 2 days doing your meditation from the YouTube. This is my third day going on. So after this call, I'm gonna shower, meditate, and be in that vibration, be in that state of being of making $10,000 a month. And right now, I'm just looking for guidance.
Yeah, here's where a big misconception. People just think they meditate and vibrate there. You have to you do vibrational actions. Like let me be clear with that. Like you go take actions that are vibrating at the frequency. You don't just sit on a couch and it vibrates. So like let me give you an example. So what you got to do now, yeah, vibrational action. So now it's like, okay, let's just say, first of all, your goal's too small. That's the first thing I would say. 10 grand a month. Like you're probably doing the same bullshit you were yesterday.
I'm
You
sorry,
got
100.
Okay, so if it's 100 grand a month, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, how can I get to 100,000 a month in my particular business? And here's the biggest thing you guys are gonna notice for those of you, especially when you're on the one-on-one call with me, is that you don't know how to properly think yet. You don't know how to properly think at these levels that we're gonna discover on the call. So, for example, is how do you apply it to a specific business? So it's gonna be something as simple as this. I'll just really quickly. Ollie, if you need to go, that's fine. I'm gonna stay here. Just do this last question here.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I'm chilling.
So it comes down to this. It's like, okay, how do you actually earn 100,000 a month? Like, let's break the numbers down. This is what people don't do. 100 grand a month is $3,000 a day.
Damn.
3.3 thousand a day. So let me ask you a question. What do you need to sell to make $3,000 a day? Okay. So like for example, the TikTok shop clients, they were selling like $15 things. How many? Let me do the calculator. How many? I just saw somebody else book a call. Congratulations. So we're gonna take 3,300. We're gonna divide that by 15. That means you have to get 220 customers to make that. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's bump up to say a $200 product, whatever that is, a e-com or whatever. So we're gonna take that. And we're going to divide that by 200. That's 16.5. Let's call it 16 clients. Or we can sell 1,000. That's 3 clients. You get what I'm saying? Or you can sell something for 3K. No, like literally, this simple, guys. Is everybody following me here? Like people don't do these things here. Okay, and so that's one product. Let me ask you a question, Chino. Is it easier to get 220 customers per day or one customer per day?
One customer per day, but the issue is I don't have an affiliate link for the $200 one. I have plenty of products I can sell to 220, but I don't have that link to make $200.
No, I'm just
Obviously,
teaching you how to think. Like, I don't care if you have a link or not. Find it. That's not the point of what I'm saying. The point of what I'm saying is it easier to get one customer or 220 customers?
one customer.
One customer. There's only
Yes.
two ways to make more money, ladies and gentlemen. You sell more or you charge more. That's the only way to make more money. You sell more or you charge more. Very clear. So the first step is most of you are not selling or selling low ticket shit. You have to sell higher ticket things. So whatever degree of what you want to do, you want to find something that's more expensive to sell. Okay, that's the first one. So you can get a higher commission. Higher commissions now allow you to have more things like ad spend, infrastructure, business partners, these kind of things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the numbers based on the other TikTok shop, what she did is she got 2 million views. Those 10 million views, I think, what was her conversion rates? I think it was 1% conversion rate. That's what she said. It was 1% conversion rate, brought her in $11,000 her first month with me. Okay. Jen is her name. If you join our program, I'll connect you with her. Okay. So 2 million views, organic views. And I said, Jen, what you need to do then to get your goal of $100,000 a month is we need to go 10x that now. All right. Because if we want to tank there, we got to multiply this by 10 and we get you to 111K, which means you have to get 20 million views. Can you get 20 million views? And this is if you don't change multiple parts here. Guys, by the way, this is like now we're getting to business strategy. Like this is what we start to do on phone calls. So there's two things that you can do. You can improve your conversion rate. You can improve your how much your commissions on getting higher getting paid a higher commission, or you can fix top of funnel stuff with traffic. So how do you get 20 million views now? You can do it organically, or you can do it with paid ads. The problem with her, she's like, oh, I don't want to mess up my organic ads. Okay, great. Let's start a new TikTok account for paid ads because you have infrastructure now to do that. You have ad money to do that. And because of that, she went and launched her new program, her new profiles, and that's how we're going to get her to the next level.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is how you apply the material. So this is what we had to do. What her action plan was, she went and she renegotiated for a higher commission. Step number one. Number two, she's improving her conversion rate from 1% to 3%. Next thing, she's launching new accounts for her TikTok so she can have ad spend so she's not reliant just on organic. She can run paid ads to 10x her ad spend, and they're going to be on separate accounts. So she has organic accounts, paid accounts, so that this month we can scale her to hit her $100,000 a month. Whether it happens this month or next month, that's how you scale. You see how we take a concept like a terror barrier or C-type goal and we apply it. This is how you apply it, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you think about what we just taught over the last 3 days. Chino, did that help?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to go find one of that. Is it the pricing? Is it the conversion rates? Is it the products? Is it the new accounts? Is it ad spend? Like you have to go find out what it is specifically for you. Like obviously we only have a couple minutes here on this call, but if we work together for months, we fix those things, you know? But right there, you find out where the problem is and you go fix it.
Yeah, but how can I attract, last question, how can I attract the $200 product or that service that I really like and enjoy?
Find it.
I find it.
Go find it.
Find it or attract it?
You attract it by finding. You got to go look for it, dude. It's not going to just pop up on you. Seek and you shall find. Huh?
You popped up.
Did I?
Yeah, I was just on YouTube.
No, did I? Did I pop up on his? Did I pop up on his screen, or did I inject myself into his life by bending the matrix?
Oh, the question is, did my consciousness bring you into my life?
Both. Both. A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll get deeper more into Q&A and everything tomorrow, guys. It's a little bit over, but yeah, like I said, guys, Chino, you can ask more questions deeper tomorrow, but we're a little bit over. Guys, book a call in. I saw a lot of people already booked a call. We'd love to have you on there. We'll talk more about the programs and stuff tomorrow. Be on the Q&A tomorrow, and we have the meditation. You guys will end up crying tomorrow, matching with that future version. You absolutely love it. So be here tomorrow. Love it. Love to have you guys on a call. I already see most of you have calls on tomorrow. Love you guys. Recording will be up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Peace.